Welcome in, everybody. We are the NAT30s.
We are the chocolate rocks.
And this is the Bums of Greenest Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Welcome. Oop, I don't know if this is working out. It should be working out just fine.
Let us know how we sound.
Yes, please let us know how we sound. I did some testing, but there's no guarantees because I am new to this whole mixer thingy, and I may or may not have done it correctly. So we will do our announcements, just some reminders. We have various ways of interacting with our stream. There are several, I cannot remember what they are, but a bunch of them got removed. So it's a little bit more succinct and you don't have to worry about what you're going to be spending your channel points on. But all subs that are gifted Prime, Direct, those go towards giving our lovely players some inspiration. So tier 1, 2, and 3 give D4s, 8s, and 12s inspiration respectively. I have not paid attention to how many subs were gifted during non D&D streams, so we're gonna need some. We're gonna need some, I think, in the coming battles. We have officially, for those of you who are just kind of tuning in now, hey Kat, how's the sound? We have officially 3 sessions left. At least that is my goal. We are finishing up Tyranny of Dragons. It has been 3 years, and it's time. So tonight begins the final 3 sessions of our story. If all goes well, I mean, we will extend it to a 4th if we have to, but the goal is not to do so.
We're gonna die by the second session.
So any gifted subs that you would like to? Awesome. Kat says super clean on headphones.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yes, we're getting there.
Even for Zan.
I
like that it's at the end of 3 years. It's finally all ironed out.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's for the next thing that
of course,
patrons know about.
Yes, the patrons know we are making some changes. If you are a patron or would like to be one, you can go check out our Patreon and read one of our latest announcements, which gives you a preview into what we will be doing in 2023. And there will be some changes, so definitely bigger announcement. I think I was gonna do December 1st, but I might do it a little bit sooner than that for everybody else, just to let everyone know what's going on with us. But we'll be continuing, just in a different format.
Do it Thanksgiving afternoon when everybody is full and can't move.
I feel like they just wouldn't be paying attention on that particular day. The other thing that you can do is interact with the stream using your channel points. As I mentioned, you can boost initiative, you can do wild magic surges, which might be fun when there's a final battle, although it might throw me off as well. And you can also enter into our monthly giveaway. We did not do our giveaway on the 4th of October for September, but I have the winner of September who has been chosen from all of last month's entries. Continue to enter for the month of October because we will do a giveaway for the month of November, which will be October Spooky Dice. So we will continue with our collaboration with Almost Critical in the future. It'll just be a little bit different. So yeah, use your channel points, enter into win the beautiful, beautiful dice. Here's one example. Gilded Wyvern. I know you can't really see it, but beautiful dice. They're light as a feather, and you get a whole set from Almost Critical. Let's see. Merch update.
Merch! There is... I haven't read the email for the sales, but I think it was a sale last week. Sorry, didn't tell you.
I think the sale, it was like a 35% sale that ended today.
It might have been.
Yeah.
There's actually like a bunch of sales coming up. There always is. The November, December rush. So we'll be on top of that. We haven't updated the store in a bit, but, again, changes are coming. So I have not been working on that. But, we'll let you know when there's sales, because buying our stuff will always support the channel, like these beautiful mics that you cannot see, which you can hopefully hear the difference in quality. But, yeah, so you can bet by shirts like this and like that.
And fuck everyone else.
No.
Is that never mind. I thought that was a Saga shirt, but no, it's Star Wars. Yeah, and there will be some shirts that will be going away because we're going to be making changes.
Yes. So. Yes. We'll let you know that so that you have ample time to get shirts that will be disappearing permanently. And I have to say, in this light, you can totally see the discoloration where my mohawk was, and it's pale, and then the sides is dark. It is really interesting. It is a crazy and this is almost 2 weeks worth of growth.
So I went to our local Ren fair yesterday.
Oh, nice.
My significant other. You know who I saw there? And I saw they had a booth. I didn't see the name or anything like that.
True Black?
Yeah, I saw that.
Well,
Sorry.
True Black. I saw Trina, and I was like looking at the stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is cool dice, and I saw they had coins. I picked one up, and I was like, hey! I was like, I have some of your stuff. Do you guys know Izzy? And she said her name was Trina.
Is she
Arthur's friend? Friend.
Okay.
Wife. I didn't really ask.
Yeah, I think it would be.
She knows. She works with Arthur, who knows you. And I was like, oh shit! So I talked to her for a good half an hour.
Oh, nice.
And she was like, hawking the wares and whatnot. And they sell dice and stuff now. So
yep.
I was gonna say intentional, unintentional shout out. You know what I mean?
Yes. No. Also, Arthur has just launched a new Kickstarter. It is called Ephemer, and it is the alternative tarot deck to True Black, which I'm not into tarot.
Neither am I, but the artwork is
beautiful stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah, they had a bunch of their stuff. Oh my god. They even
tarot cards.
Yeah, but this new deck I feel is even better than that one, than the True Black.
It depends. It's white, so go check out Ephemer. So Arthur is an amazing artist. He and his wife, and he creates these beautiful tarot cards deck. I can't really do justice to it, but the way the cards are, he describes it better than me, but it's matte. It soaks up the light. It does not reflect, but then there's this gold overlay, and there's star pattern on the back. I can't really do it justice. You have to check out their Kickstarter.
Wow, that looks
it's
so
the
cool
white.
when the light hits the back.
I'll let you see. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna keep these away from my wife.
And you can get an early bird. Yeah, get an early bird, but
they
it's a
even-
white
That's what I
one.
mean,
I
so
didn't
that
know
she
they-
doesn't see them and buy them
They do
before I can
dice
get them.
now too. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I had
he does
no idea, but
dice.
they had I can't remember what they called them, but mossy something, but it actually had little bits and pieces of moss in it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. They got some
He
good stuff.
is just he makes art. He's just an
Yeah,
artist.
no, all their stuff. They had an awesome little. It was small and kind of out of the way, and I felt really bad because the way they were positioned, it wasn't. I wish
You
it
couldn't
had.
see.
I wish it was right front and center because their stuff blew everybody else's out of the water.
I do like how that whole center section is all dice and D&D stuff now. They used to be where they had those hammock swing chair things.
They
The
moved everything
pictures
around.
don't do this justice,
No.
because when you put your finger on, feel it, there's something, it just feels.
And it's all
cool.
locally made,
Yeah.
all locally made in New Hampshire, Maine. The cards are made there. He had people that he knows.
Yeah, it's weird. The back is almost
model for him.
embossed, but not. It's
Yeah.
strange.
It's
How do you
amazing.
find them? What are they called?
They're called True Black. And to be honest, if you would like some, I can go get them for you because then you wouldn't have to pay the shipping. I can just go get them.
Oh, yeah.
But you can find him on True Black, his website, True Black. And there's a
Sorry, I
guy
didn't mean this to
Kickstarter.
become an ad.
No, this is great.
Random-
He's
I just saw them and it was one
This
of those
game
things.
session is not sponsored.
no, but when he did his Kickstarter for the coins, he gave away some on our stream. So
I told her, I was like, when we were playing online, I got them to show everybody how heavy they were. I brought them to
He's
this
the one
height
that made these
and I
coins
dropped
that
them.
we-
Yeah.
And I said how the bag I had them in just fucking split and coins went everywhere.
Yep.
Yep.
They do the little glass gems and stuff too. But each one of them, they're different and they have a lore behind them. There's a chip on one. Yeah. She looked really surprised. She was like, "Oh, cool! You actually, Izzy's my DM, so I got a bunch of stuff."
Yeah, so he had a bunch of friends model for him. So all those paintings are it's hand painted people that he knows modeling.
Really, really
Same thing
cool
for Ephemer. which I hope I'm saying right. But it's a white version. So if you want both, I mean, I'm gonna go get them. I would rather pay him the extra $10 in shipping and just go get them than pay the $10 of shipping. So I'm gonna. They way surpassed their Kickstarter goal, so you wouldn't have to worry about.
I mean, well deservedly, because this stuff is great.
It's like double, I believe. No, I think it's quadruple what he was looking for already. Wow. It's all set. So if you want it and you're worried about getting it, like he's still in the midst of painting them.
I don't even like
but it'll be
I'm
done.
not into the whole tarot thing. To me,
that's
really into it.
Yeah.
Tarot and astrology and all that stuff. I don't subscribe to it, but I just like. I think it's really cool.
No,
the
I love the
is
idea
excellent.
of it. But yeah,
the art is really good. The presentation.
I've never
is
seen any like that.
Yeah, they're beautifully done.
It's kind of strange how all that stuff's coming back too. I know like 3 or 4 people on Facebook that do like the tarot card of the day is the wolf.
I like it from a like it's fun.
It's like D&D. It's no longer people are quiet about it. Just more people are.
I enjoy it. I think it's fun, but it's not. It's like one of those things I wish I could believe to be true, but it's not. Like it's fun. It's like this could be even when we're playing and you guys have had tarot card readings. Like that's all random, but you can make it be part of the story. So I feel that way about tarot. But no disrespect to people who believe it. I just don't. But the cards are beautiful, and I will go get the white ones when they're done, which should be done in like, I think he said spring 2023. So he's still working on the actual art. But anyway,
Sorry about that.
No,
spin that up into a 10
he's
minute.
where it just launched like 3 or 4 days ago. So like go in and get your early birds if you can, if there are any left. Other than that, I don't think we have anything.
Nope.
All right, so we're gonna run our intro, and then we will be back to continue with our story.
It's okay.
All right. So, when we last left the Bums of Greenest, you had traveled to the necromantic land of Thay.
Necromantic. I like that word.
Tasked with engaging in political discourse with a leader by the name of Tharkion Yeth. You traveled via teleportation circle with the ambassador to Thay and were given comfortable room and board, though in the company of unsettling red wizards and their undead servants. After a day, you met with the Tharkion and patiently answered questions about your loyalties, cult knowledge, and beliefs. You were then sent back to your individual rooms after being told that Thay would aid in the fight, and the ambassador would escort you back to Waterdeep the following morning.
Oh, you missed the dream torture.
That night, you were plagued with nightmares, and most of you found yourselves sharing a dream wherein you were being interrogated, held within a large metal cauldron by slimy octopus-like tentacles, while a small audience of red wizards whispered amongst themselves. You were interrogated and tortured, while the tally of your perceived truths and lies were called out.
Did I get anything special for, like, maxing out the torture number booth?
No. when the morning
Extra
came,
torture.
it was clear that those of you who had remembered your dreams had been through an ordeal. Though Val fared the worst, being unable to sleep at all.
That's what you got.
And you also got psychic
Congratulations.
damage. Yes, you found yourself racked with psychic damage as well. All of you met with...
Oh, you actually took damage?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Oh, you guys didn't?
Ambassador and I.
So I don't think you did the right thing.
I don't think I answered a single question correctly.
Back in the teleportation chamber and swiftly appeared back within the castle Waterdeep walls. We rejoin you as you reconvene in your more welcome lodgings in the castle and debrief. So this is the same evening, and I can't remember if we ended on a different night, but essentially
I
you
think
all...
we ended with like the sun came up and we like went to sleep.
Yes, because you would have come... It was morning where you were, and it would have been way earlier morning. So
Obnoxious Martin, what the fuck?
you all got into your keep. Avedon nowhere to be found at this time. And you have... The morning is yours, or the afternoon if you chose to sleep, and then gain a long rest.
I get a point of exhaustion.
You got a point of exhaustion, yes.
So, but even if we sleep through the day, I still have that exhaustion, or does it clear itself?
If you choose to sleep through the day, you'll be okay.
Oh, I'm sleeping through the day.
Were we called by the council when we got there?
Not yet.
Okay, so yeah, probably take a rest.
Okay. So you all bed down, I guess. You looked horrible. Or you looked fine.
She
You're
described
the
the
only one
way
who made your save.
the way she described the way that you looked at us was exactly how I feel like you would have done it.
Really?
She was like, wow, like,
Guys.
you guys look so bad. Not like
Yes.
bad, but like, ooh, bad.
Yeah, sunken eyes, like very grayish skin, like they had been through something. Val had like blood
Wait,
on him.
I was gonna say, did no one else wake up covered in blood either?
No one else woke up covered in blood. It was just
Motherfuckers.
yours.
Dude, before this actually even started, you were like, oh, it'd be fun to throw this. And me and him were like, don't fucking throw this on purpose.
I mean,
So, yes, you get back to your room, and interestingly, even as you left, or when you arrived in the teleportation tower, and Ambassador Ilmic was there, she just kind of looked at you, but did not acknowledge the fact that you had blood. Not that you lay there in your own blood and didn't clean up, but just like she would have known, and she did not acknowledge.
just have that dry blood on like the side of your face because
Yeah.
you forgot to clean your ears.
Right. But you are back. You left the ambassador. She went her way. You went yours. And so, I guess as you all begin to wake up, it's going to be probably early afternoon, lunchtime. There's food delivered to the keep as normal. But you don't see Avedon anywhere. And the afternoon is yours. You also all don't necessarily know what you've been through together because you didn't chat about it. So
where are we? Are we
you're in your keep.
eating breakfast, lunch, brunch?
Sure.
Eating some bread. I hated that place.
Look like shit.
I normally do, but you had the dreams.
Aye.
That was weird.
It was.
Tried getting the bastards, but I couldn't get out.
Are you still covered in blood?
Well,
Did you clean up?
Have you bathed?
I was gonna say.
no, I cleaned, but they're still like around the hairline, a little bit on the neck.
On the blind side, it's still like all red.
Yeah, the side.
He turned to
But you
just the
can't
one
see.
good eye to clean and didn't look the other side of his face.
What's with the blood? Are you injured?
I mean, the tentacles, squishy. You know, you had the same dreams, right?
I didn't bleed.
No.
I can't speak for anyone else. The dreams were unpleasant, but there was no blood. There was no actual physical harm.
Did you not try to fight it?
Are you cut? Are you wounded?
Not that I can find.
Did you not know it was a dream?
I mean, at first I didn't. I woke up and I went through the wall to make sure everyone else is all right, but there's nobody in your rooms.
What could you have said to them to make you bleed?
Oh, I was just being charming.
Where did you bleed from?
I have no idea.
Never a good sign. Track that question.
There's no holes that didn't belong here. I've checked.
So badly want to ask about if the existing ones are in okay condition. That's not canon.
Meanwhile, Arwell, you actually did not have those dreams. You did not. As they're speaking about this, you remember waking up in the morning and feeling like you didn't sleep well, but whatever they're talking about, you did not have that at all.
Oh, okay.
Hey, well, mission accomplished, I suppose.
Well,
Interesting place.
seems like Faye may be on our side. Let's hope. I would have thought you would have gotten the worst of it, being a cleric.
Oh no, I didn't have any dreams.
You did look like you were sleeping like a baby.
I mean, my neck was a little, like, I have a little crick in it from, like, I think I just, like, slept funny.
Not used to the
Nope,
pillows.
yeah, the pillows were not as...
Spiky skull pillows.
Yeah, they were a little flatter than I'd like. But no, I didn't have any dreams. You all did?
Oh, you're the lucky one then.
I think it was a test. They were asking us questions and...
Aye, like they asked me my name. Like they don't know who I am. They requested us specifically.
Aye, but they may not know what any of us actually look like until we arrived. It could be just a random person that snuck on.
Yeah, well, I let them know what I thought about that.
And I think they let you know what they think about that. You point to the blood on your ear.
Yeah. There's worse things.
There is. But it's over now.
Don't like being treated like that. We are supposed to be guests. Did we not have a pleasant dinner with the,
Depending
whatever
on,
she was?
Tharkon.
depending on the host, guest can mean a variety of things. I mean, I was a guest of Cain and his horde for many years, and you would know him to be a guest of his.
True point, true point. That is a, ungodly, backwards place, that Fae.
Find no disagreement here on that.
Wants food served from these undead bastards.
Who wants undead bastards just walking around?
Aye, good point. What do we do now?
I'm sure at some point the council or someone from the council will want to speak with us. I don't know what's coming next, but I know that in the next few days this could be the last time that we sit around and speak like this. I just want you all to know that you've become my family over this time. So take care of yourselves.
Oh, you're getting sentiment. I'm going to get the tear in the eye.
The good one?
Oh, only the bad one cries.
Reciprocated, Zen. Although before you two were with us, we had others, and they're also very much missed. But hopefully we all get through this next big thing. We see all each other on this side of the mortal plane. Quiet you with your ghostliness.
Oh, don't fear death, lad. It is natural. Unlike that place over there where we just were. That is unnatural.
Unfortunately, though, it shows sometimes unnatural is needed to stop evil.
The enemy of my enemy.
Exactly.
Makes you bleed in your sleep.
Oh, I'll get them back for that.
Wait until after we've...
I will. I'm on my best behavior.
Good man.
There is a gentle rap on the door, as if summoned. And
Gentle rapping.
Rapping my chamber door.
Quoth the raven.
Quoth the Abaddon.
and when you open the door, you see a Waterdavian guard that actually looks at each of you and then says, Xander Huntsman, Lady Haventree would like to speak with you.
All right.
Have fun at your debriefing.
Excuse me.
And they escort you, closing the door behind. You go down the hall, sort of a familiar way that you've been that one time when you met her in that lightless kind of study. They bring you to that room again and open the door, and in there you see Romalia. And her, interestingly, she is not wearing her
Anything.
normal... She's not wearing her normal, like,
I
the
thought you were
gown.
gonna roll with it.
No.
I won't lie. I thought you were gonna. The way you said that, I thought you were gonna fucking roll with it. Like you was Canada. Holy shit.
She's
Whoa.
nude. She beckons you to sit and then begins to speak to you as if everything's fine.
It's just as she
And
rolls.
it's in that moment you realize that maybe something's wrong. Romalia Haventree. No, she is wearing her, like, it seems to be a mixture of, like, a ceremonial ornamental kind of, like, but also battle attire in a way. I mean, you're aware of the fact that she typically does not sit at council meetings. She is usually in it with everyone. But this seems to be something that, you know, she's wearing to show that she can be formal while also, you know, she's gonna get some shit done. So she has you, you know, sit and close the door. And she just kind of nods. So how was it?
Bit unpleasant, but I've had worst hosts.
Yes, I apologize that it was you who was requested. You all have been through so much, so. But I have heard that the ambassador returned with a smile on her face, which I would expect, but I'm hoping it's a good smile.
From what the ambassador told us, they is with us. For whatever they wanted to know from us or assurances, they got them.
Hopefully not at too big of a personal cost.
Nothing physical, but we'll just say it was unpleasant.
I imagine it was a lot of questioning, a lot of political...
Things, I think I heard one of the soldiers say, above my pay grade.
Indeed. Well, this will be... For us, this is a good thing. Not that I am a fan of the Red Wizards of Thay by any stretch of the imagination, but the Zentarum and the Harpers, we have come to an agreement of sorts, and our shared intelligence has shown us that the Red Wizards of Thay are key in this fight. And so without them, we would definitely have a bigger challenge ahead of us. So, it is good. Onthar will not be pleased. Neither will the Emerald Enclave, the dwarves, and Baldur's Gate.
Hopefully, time we spent with Ontharr, he can look past this one thing and see everything else. The Enclave, hopefully, the sting of the King's Son is enough to keep them from squawking too much. Dwarves will be dwarves.
Indeed.
Hopefully, for people who live as long as they do, they can sometimes be short-sighted.
They are very strong-willed. And they persevere throughout all things.
I admire their convictions, but their rage sometimes can overshadow it.
They do tend to send those with the most rage forward to speak for them. I've known plenty of dwarves without it. You know, the old school.
Unfortunately, dwarven politics seems whoever shouts the loudest is the one who is right.
Indeed. Well, despite people's personal feelings about Thay, I do believe that you all have done a great service. And again, we will find out likely tomorrow, as we plan to come together and have one final discussion. We've been gathering forces. We have been sending them to Elturel, which is only about a 2-week journey to the Well of Dragons, where it has become clear that everything is culminating. So, we shall find out who will join us and who will not. And we will move forward.
It's all we can do right now. Whether or not they're going to stand with us, the fight will happen regardless.
The Zentarum and the Harpers working together, which I don't know when that will happen again, but for now, we have come to find out quite a bit more about the ritual itself. The ritual has begun. It, in a sense, began over a year ago, but in earnest, it has begun. They required several items to move forward, and she kind of gets stupid bugs up there. She gets a notebook that she has been keeping notes in and opens it. And she says they required a hoard of treasures worth at least 500,000 gold pieces, which your alliance with Blagothkus and the giants, despite it crashing, that put a large dent in their plans. I cannot with any certainty say that they have not gathered what they need, but it was not easy if they did. From my understanding, those treasures had to be blessed by priests of Tiamat, so they would have to be physically at the Well of Dragons at this time.
At the very least, we slowed them down.
Yes. It's my understanding that for the original ritual, they also required 500 humanoid sacrifices. However, without all of the masks, several of these things have been either slowed or, whether for good or bad, require more. So for example, the sacrifices are no longer 500, but are instead upwards of 800. Much harder to obtain, and yet, if obtained, is several hundred more innocents that would lose their lives.
The camp that we were in outside of Greenest, I mean, there were dozens. How many other camps have there been? They could already have that and more.
Yes, they had been raiding all around, continue to do so, from to Neverwinter, and just marching whoever they didn't slaughter, which I understand was not their goal. And so they did not necessarily have to be intact sacrifices, just alive and of good, innocent nature. So I don't know, again, how many they have or how many they were successful in bringing to the well, but from my understanding, those sacrifices do not begin until the ritual has started to bring her forth. So they are gathering them. In addition, there have to be 5 of the chromatic dragons, adult or older, one of each type, that is available in order to make the sacrifices. And the sacrifices must be made without the use of their breath weapon. So, all of that must come together. And in addition, there will be ritual circles with the red wizards, the worm speakers, all chanting together. My assumption is with the final help of Severin, who would be wearing the mask of the Dragon Queen. It unfortunately has come to our attention that they only need 2 masks to bring forth the Queen of Dragons, and they have 3. But without the final 2, which we have, the black and the blue, it will make it that much harder. So they have been slowed, but not stopped. But any of these things, should they go wrong, or should they be interrupted, may aid in either stopping the ritual altogether or giving us a chance to stop her from coming through.
Perhaps now that Thay has come to the table, they could tell us what they know of the ritual, or just in general ways that we can perhaps stop it in its tracks, or, as you said, slow it down more.
I believe the Red Wizards of Thay will come in handy at knowing how to fight the exiled Red Wizards. In terms of the ritual itself, I'm not sure what they know. But if they can fight them or know their weaknesses, that's where we will win.
We have to.
So, an interesting thing happened while you were away. I was approached by someone quite strange. And I have dealt with the Fae in various ways, but this was a little bit different. Very little was said, and yet I found myself knowing exactly what was meant of our interaction. And so I feel it is important that I've been holding on to this for several weeks, but I believe now is the time. And she reaches into her drawer and she presents you with this key wrapped in wire on a cord with a flower and intricate pattern all wrapped up within it. This, while I do not know who it is from, it is meant for you. And as you touch it, you can feel that magical, that warmth that you have come to recognize. And she says, I do not know what it does, but it's not meant for me.
What does this person look like?
It's funny that you should say that, because I can't remember.
Faye tricky with your mind and
Yes.
thoughts.
It's as if their face is a blur.
Looking like a man.
Thank you for holding on to this for me. I'm sure it will come in handy for what we have next.
I'm sure it will. While I don't remember the face, the importance of it was very clear. Do you have any questions for me?
How much time before the council meets and before we're off? Everyone, if they've had a rough few days, it'd be nice for them to at least have the night to remember why they're fighting.
Sam's trying to get us hookers and blow.
I was trying to get you guys out of lockdown for the night.
See, way to stomp all over the moment. Jesus Christ.
They gotta remember what they're fighting for. This is
I meant Farron's family. It's like immediately, hookers and blow, that's what I fight for.
At the very least, you have the night. And you are welcome to leave the castle grounds. We just ask that you be careful, of course. The city is quite changed as we have taken in as many refugees as possible, even more from surrounding smaller cities. The dragons have been moving forward. Your friend, Avedon, she has been sent to the front lines. Interestingly, it appears she has been befriended, we'll say, by the Zentarum. Rian Nightshade, the council member. She's not a member of the council. She wants to be. The representative from the Zents took a liking to Avedon, and Avedon the same. And it appears that with Rian's help, they have harnessed some of Avedon's powers. And she is quite powerful.
More powerful than she knows.
She's very young. We all, of course, hope it does not end up in the wrong hands, but for now there are bigger problems to worry about. But in the meantime, she has been sent forward. She is already in El Terrell, most likely has been moved on her way. What we are doing is the Zentarum, the Harpers, we are sending our folks up ahead to figure out what the army looks like that we will be fighting. It will take our people several days, weeks, to arrive at the well. In the meantime, they will be preparing for us to arrive. But El Terrell is going to be the meeting place. And so, you have at least tonight. The council will meet tomorrow. Another day. We will move you quickly to El Terrell via teleportation. We have established means of doing that already. And then, from there, you will march with the armies.
Well, we all knew eventually it would probably come down to this. So, I know me and my friends were ready. As long as the council can stop from killing each other before we get there.
Yes, that is the biggest challenge. And I, unfortunately, may ask you to help with that as well.
You know, when I first came into this crazy problem, I never once thought that it would be anything more than a sword and fist in this war. But I'll do what I can.
You have been of great help, and when this is all over, your deeds will be recognized. You have done far more than some of our earlier initiates. And I'm sure that will be recognized as well.
As long as many people can make it through this, that's all that really matters. Not titles, things of such nature.
Well, we don't care much for titles in the harbors anyway. It's more about the deeds.
Exactly.
Well, please tell your fellow bums that tonight is yours. Tomorrow we meet. It will be full of politics and bloviating and yelling and screaming.
Seems to be
Personal attacks.
Seems what politics. It's a fight with words instead of fists.
Yeah. Or an attempt. You'll have to let me know what that does.
Sure. Next time we see.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
She walks you over to the door, opens it. The guard is standing there, and she says, "Do you want an escort, or you can?"
I don't think I need one.
And she just nods to the guard, who just stands outside the door and doesn't move. Closes the door.
Sam will head back to his friends and tell them we have the night off before everything seems to kick off tomorrow. So we have one last night to have fun. We spend it in a tavern or sitting by a fire? That's the question.
No, the question is, what are you going to take away to add to that too? That it's like you have a new thing and it's magic, and it's like at the beginning of the game it's like, I got a magic item. Now it's like, fuck. It's like I have a good loadout.
So, was there anything that you all did?
Bathed.
Okay. It's okay if not. Just
In a hall of mirrors so I could see the other side.
Okay. We'll let Arik. Is there anything Arik did while all of that conversation was happening?
The usual strip down and clean. Sorry, my kid was messaged me, asked me to call her. The usual strip down and check of his armor, weapons, all that good stuff. Converse with his friends.
Okay.
If they're even around, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Staying bad.
Taking a soak.
Arlo was spending some time with Charlie, letting him stretch his legs.
Does this need attunement?
You know, I'm not sure. Yes, it does.
Attempt to attune with it to find out what it does.
So when you attune over the course, sitting with it as the day goes on, it is something you don't know what it's called necessarily, but like Pat knows what it's called. It's called a periaptive hope, which is you have advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws while you're tuned to the pendant. You regain the maximum number of hit points from any healing, and healing actions and spells that you cast restore the maximum number of hit points. And fun fact, that is a handmade item from our lovely painter, Adam, who paints. His wife
I was
creates
looking at
those
I was
with
like,
old keys.
This is hand done. I was like, this is so cool.
And I got that at Captain Con in February. So I'm holding on
You
to
said
it for
something.
that one.
Yeah, I'll take one.
So yes, handmade.
Should we need one of that?
She does beautiful work.
Sam will definitely attune to
Yeah,
that.
so if you search for periaptive hope, it should
Someone
show
did
up.
leave some sort of seltzer waters in there.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
bunch
that
of stuff.
You want
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Oh, you got one?
Boobly?
Well, this is what I brought.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch. All right. So you all prep for the evening. Zan returns, and then I assume.
So I spoke with Remy. Tomorrow there'll be a final council, and depending on what happens at that council, we will be heading out to the Well of Dragons.
Oh, good. We can put an end to this.
So,
Cracks up in the cold one of the boys.
so tonight, I asked Remy to give us leave of any responsibilities that, one last night of relaxation or fun, depending on what anyone wants. And
I can't hear you.
Sorry, I forgot all the mics are on this side.
but I think we should take it.
Might be the last time we're all here in the same room, even if we all live at the end of this. You don't know what life will bring you. So, agreed.
Fair enough.
Oh, what Charlie to have like a little tiny champagne glass.
All right. So what are you doing? You heading out from the castle, going down to going out, or are you just gonna hang out in the
Should we
keep?
be those people and go back to the tavern that we almost got killed?
I was gonna say, let's go back to the fucking tavern that we all see if they remember us.
Which the one
The
one in
first-
Waterdeep. I'm like
The first time we were attacked.
It's like they're not gonna do it twice.
It's like, honestly, I don't know any of the places in town.
So that was the beer golem
Beer goal.
where you were attacked. So you all are headed there. Okay. So you head down to the dock district where you were, where you had met. I don't know that you weren't there, and you weren't there. So you were led down. I guess walking down through the streets, you exit the castle Waterdeep, and as you're heading through, let me see if I can actually pull up. No, I'm not going to do that. It'll slow things down. But you head down through the castle ward, through the marketplace, which is always really busy. It's probably like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. In addition to the normal amount of marketplace, like stalls and stuff that are out there, it's very loud. You can see that there are a lot of refugees around, a lot of people that clearly are not from here, some that are wearing clothing that is very not Waterdavian. Things from Baldur's Gate, from Neverwinter, even some from Sea Hall. So you head through the streets and then head down, and there's a little bit of at least a nostalgia for Arik and Zan as you are walking through and like remembering your recent-ish when you all did the race and like fell all over yourselves, and
Arik misses Micaiah.
yes, Micaiah and her loud, boisterous self, because Avedon and Micaiah were the ones that introduced you to the beer golem in the first place.
Weren't they the two that won the competitions too?
They did win. They won the one, the one where you had to go into the water and then come out and start a fire. But yeah, as you're kind of walking through and just kind of looking around and remembering all of that. But it's changed. It's different. There's people that are not from here, and you're with different people. But you walk down, you end up recognizing the beer golem. There wasn't too much damage that was done, and it's been a little while. So you walk into that space, and you don't see really evidence of the fact that you were attacked here. There, like as you walk in right away, you see that they did a decent job of cleaning up like the floor where you did kind of kill a couple people, but luckily no
lasting structural damage.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say no collateral damage from like civilians on that particular day. So now you come in.
Before we walk in, Mara's gonna be last. He's gonna grab, or not grab, that's the wrong word, but tug our you know, you met Avedon, right?
Yeah.
You know Avedon. She was one of us before she had other duties to do for this whole thing. This was mine, and then I found it on our travels, and then I gave it to her, and she gave it back, and I was hoping to give it back to her one day. But it seems, don't take offense to this, that you may be the person that needs it even more than she does. He's going to reach into his pocket, and it's going to be, I believe it's a ring that's made of, it's gold, and it's got green and like red. It's kind of like that, like inscribing, and it's in the shape of I believe a hummingbird. It's the ring of evasion. And I'll just give you both this.
Yeah.
So he's going to actually take your hand. This is what he's going to do. He's going to press it into your hand, and he's going to close your hand like that, and I just crumpled up the thing. See, we all have our limits when it comes to what we can withstand as far as all of our magic items. Hopefully that does you well. It helped me, it helped Avedon, and now hopefully in this upcoming battle it will help you.
This is amazing. Thank you.
Use it well.
Oh, I will.
And, let's have some fun tonight, and let's see how this all goes. You have a negative dexterity modifier.
I'm at a now. I just have a 0. I did bump up a little.
That'll help you. That gives you basically for like a dex. I know it says it right there. But
Yeah. What
it's,
is a charge plus cast? It says fail.
So if you get if she tells you to make a dexterity throw, if you fail it, you can just say, nah, and you can do that 3 times a day. So if she hits you with something that says make a dex save, and if you fail, because I figured you have a low dexterity modifier, you can choose to pass it instead. So it has 3 charges, and I think they recharge at dawn.
Yes, 1d3 at dawn. It says.
Yes. So you have to roll a
D4.
a D4 and take whatever that is.
I think it's
Or
a
D6,
D6
and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6.
Oh, okay.
We'll give you 1, 2,
2
or
or
3.
3. Is that the number you get
The number of charges that you get.
for the
it
next
has,
day?
the next
it
day.
has 3 maximum, and
Oh,
then
okay,
at
so
the
it could be
start
1,
of the
2,
day,
3.
it only
When
charges.
that's
we had
awesome.
originally gotten it, I think as you told me, just give it the 3 each time. But I went.
Oh.
When Lee had written it, she had written it from what I had written. But when we had first talked about this was
2 years ago.
crazy.
It might have been to keep it simple.
That I think that was when we were. I think I got it when we were at the hatchery.
Oh yeah,
That's
it might have
how
been
long-
to keep it simple.
That's how long it was. So
You
it's just
got it?
it's got 3 charges per
Not
day.
the hatchery. It was the guy.
Or was it the
after,
house?
after the roadhouse.
The Carnath Roadhouse. Yeah.
What was that place where
I know we were like underground
Castle
or something.
Naratar?
Castle Naratar, where Zan met. He was the elven guy who we were chasing down.
Yeah, I remember it was the one time I looted a body and actually
We found
something.
the ring of evasion. Don't ask me why. I just.
But it
remember
does take an
weird things
attunement,
like
which is
that.
that's why I made sure that Eric mentioned like we all have a limit. I don't know how much you have, but if you have 3 attunement slots, so if you choose to, that'll take up one of them. So
Okay.
I just don't know what you have attuned or what
I think
not.
I
So
only have
just
one.
fair warning.
Yeah, I don't think you have one.
But I figured you could use the most out of it. The 2 guys who are highly dexterous, I'm not, but I have like a thing I can do with my shield that helps out a lot. But you're like a sitting duck.
This is like
Keep you alive.
meta, but is everyone fully attuned? Or do you still have an attunement slot? Because I think we all have
How do I
extra.
find that? I'm sorry.
So it'll be in
Inventory?
your inventory,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
scroll down
All
to
the way
bottom.
down. Yep.
There'll be 3 spots.
would
I
like-
only have 1 there now.
Alright, so you got 2 more spots.
Yeah.
So 2 spots.
I would like to spend the rest of my money and find a magical item to buy.
Okay. How much money do you have? Are you doing that kind of like on your way?
On the way, yeah.
Okay.
I got 3,870 gold.
And what are you looking for?
I want a magical heavy crossbow.
Okay. Make an investigation check as you were walking through. I mean, you're walking through the market. You're walking through the trade district, the dock district.
Going crazy with them dice rolls already.
21.
Okay. I will say with a 21, you are able to find a hold on 1 second. You're able to find a crossbow, a heavy crossbow, and it will be a.
Oh, it's so pretty. The little picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's like a hummingbird,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I was going off of memory. I couldn't remember. I just remember when I opened it, I had that, and I was like, I can't really use that. But who can?
I sure can.
Yeah, right?
Again, if you want another magical item, I have either a Cloak of Elvenkind or a Boots of the Winterland if you want to just max out your attunements. The Cloak of Elvenkind gives you advantage on stealth, and the Boots of the Winterland give you resistance to cold damage.
I'd go with the cold damage.
How much stealth are we getting?
I don't know, but I can tell you that one of those heads
But
is
you
gonna
have-
shoot cold.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
I have been frozen in twice before.
but leading up to that, we might need to be stealthy, and you have a.
But you also probably have.
But I have
spell
armor that
traits.
doesn't give me a disadvantage on stealth.
But you still have a plus what, 0 or -1 to your stealth?
Plus 0.
Like we're supposed to be having fun, Rick, and we're like,
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Like I said, this is just out of campaign because
Yeah.
it's like it's always fun to have new magic items.
it's the end of the game. It's like spend all the stuff.
What are the boots again?
Boots of the Winterland, they give you resistance to cold damage.
I kind of want to use those. Is that okay?
I unattuned to that to attune to the Parapet of Hope, which that is crazy. That is nuts. Did you see that? Did I show you?
Is that the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, advantage on wisdom saves.
Advantage on wisdom,
Death saves,
Death saves.
and
That's
regain
cool.
max
That's
healing.
and I regain max healing at any time I think, did it say
When
spell
you
or
heal
just
someone.
healing spell?
Is it when you heal someone else or yourself?
Both.
Both.
Nice, that's good.
I will say that for that price, roll me a persuasion check. I'm gonna say with advantage
are we
because
with them?
yeah, because you've got the
I was trying to be behind
The
them.
writ?
15, because I have a -1 on my persuasion.
No.
I will
16 and
say that
Did you say 15 and 17?
for all of
15
that
because I have
money
-1,
with
16 and
your writ,
Well, it's advantage, not disadvantage.
All right,
So
so
16.
16. Not that it made much. I'm so used to rolling with disadvantage.
I will say for every penny that you have with the writ, you are and given the time that it is, and you kind of go it through how you're going on the front line and all of that.
Listen, I'm here to save the world. If you want to live and sell your goods on another day to some other weary travelers, you're gonna have to do this for me.
Meanwhile, the shopmaster's like, right, but if you succeed, I'll have to live after, and I need to make a living.
I will say that you are able to find a +3 crossbow for that price,
I'll take it.
which is
There's every penny.
unheard of. An unheard of price.
I'm a hero. I have no way of healing myself anymore, but I have +3.
It doesn't matter.
I think I have like 1 or 2 potions of healing left.
Oh yeah, that might not be a bad idea if we were to maybe, we don't have to roleplay it, but we should definitely stock up on potions.
Oh, no, it's good shop.
That good
I
stuff.
just did.
The rest of us.
Yes, you will find it difficult to find healing
Well,
potions.
fuck. If you buy the ingredients, I can make one overnight.
That, you never know.
It's better than nothing,
one
yeah.
could,
That could be the one.
it's like you can't knock it because one is better than having none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't knock it. Because right now in the bag, just want to make sure there's nowhere else. We got 2 regular, 1 greater, and 1 superior.
I'm poor again.
So that's all we got for potions. I don't know if anyone else has any, but that's between what Zan has on him and in the bag of holding.
I have 1 regular potion of healing left, and then one. Nope. Use that superior. That's a 0.
I have 1 regular and 1 superior, and then I have some restorative ointment. A couple of those.
I got some burn cream.
I think he's got a couple of greater and 2 superior. I don't know if that's completely up to date.
You do still have a council session, by the way. So, just saying.
We can always go shopping on the way out of town.
What are we doing, shopping? Is that what I'm hearing?
Seeing how much healing
I
stuff
want
we
to
have.
fucking answer you.
What is it, a +3 crossbow?
+3 crossbow, heavy crossbow. It's like I use every penny. I'm just finding loose shit.
Taking your boot off and shade, a whole bunch of chain falls up.
Just doing all this.
And they want your crossbow, by the way, the other one.
Oh yeah, I'll totally just
Yeah.
Trade.
So you
This is the price with your trade.
right. Yeah. So give me that one.
Yep.
I want it to be like an Italian car salesman. You know what I mean? Like that classic.
You can have this
Look,
Ferrari, but
I'm
you
doing
got to
this
give
for
me.
you, okay? Look. You're making a killing here.
You give me your Geo Prism, I give you this Ferrari.
If you tell my boss I cut you this deal, I'm fired.
Yeah.
Are we signing? Let's go.
So is this going to be shopping that we're doing right now, or are we going to?
If you want, yeah, it's up to you if you
Well,
want to do it.
I was going to look for whatever cool magical potions, as always.
Margaret's gonna go start cooking your rice for dinner.
Okay.
Sorry. Phone call, message.
Do you not want rice? You can eat just straight pork.
Nope.
No, rice is
This
great.
is good.
Yeah, no, I wasn't complaining about that. I
mean-
was saying like I was getting phone calls and messages
Oh.
from my daughter and then my daughter's mother, and I'm just it's a
So,
whole fucking thing.
Does Arwell need a magic weapon? I don't know if we have anything.
Oh,
Arwell
I
has
have
that
my
mace, right? Didn't you
mace.
say mace was magical?
My mace has some magic to it.
so when it comes to magical like potions that you're looking for, there's the standard. There are some potions of healing. Should you need, they're about 48 gold a piece.
How many of those?
There are 8 of those available at this shop.
At this shop.
Well, 8 that you're able to find.
Yeah. Did we want to get those for the group? Did we have anything in the group coffer?
We just went over that. We got 2 regular, 1 greater, and 1
What
superior.
do we have for money in the group thing? Anything?
There's nothing left in the group. Everything we used that for the last round. Everyone has their own.
Did the council give us anything?
You have not met with the
No.
council.
We haven't met with the
Oh,
council.
should we?
We can wait. Like I said, we can go shopping on our way out of town.
Can we put them on layaway? That's old school.
Can you
old
set this
school,
aside? The
right?
Kmart.
Isn't that old?
The
isn't that
Kmart
old school?
layaway.
You can't say layaway. Like nobody understands what that is. You say that to
I think
kids.
Walmart brought that back during COVID layaway.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I did that.
They used to do that at Caldo's when Caldo's was a store in Taunton.
Yep.
Did you see? My
Back
mother
in
used to put stuff on
Remember
Ames.
Ames?
Used to put stuff on layaway all the time.
How much money do you have? Because I can tell you, I won't even
I have
bother.
100 gold
Okay.
approximately, and then I have like a whole bunch of different, like I have, painted war I have like loot, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So-
There is a superior healing potion.
Close to probably like 7,000 or just above if I'm looking at all this stuff and adding it up really quick.
Okay. You could get a superior healing for 2180 if you wanted. There's fire giant strength and frost giant strength. Those are going to be 2130 each if you want.
Strength.
What do those do?
They give you boosts to like your strength and I believe resistance to certain.
Eric's definitely going to be interested in at least one of those, probably the stronger of the two. But I think he'll probably end up waiting until.
Your strength score changes to 25 for 1 hour, and that's it.
So what does that mean when you roll? What do you add if you have to make a strength?
What your modifier would be if your strength was 25.
So that would be like +8.
5, 6, 7.
7.
Yep.
Wow.
They're both the same, essentially.
Uh-huh.
There's also a potion of invulnerability, which you can choose what you are invulnerable to.
And that what gives you like resistance or no invulnerability to
Nope,
for, like,
it's
an
resistance to all damage. So,
How much
all
is that?
damage. Yep.
How much is that?
That one is $24.60.
I'm just writing these down so
Mhm.
I can later after the console session we'll come back. Hold on a second.
Stone Giant Strength. Let me find out what that one does. It's probably going to be similar to the fire, but potion of.
If you want, I have a spell scroll ray of sickness. If you
What's
want, I have a spell scroll ray of sickness. You can use a spell scroll instead of
29.
using a
That's for
spell
the,
slot. So like you like use the
for
scroll,
Stone Giant Strength.
So it's like a one.
like a one-time
One-time.
use.
The potion of Stone Giants.
I just don't know if
And that-
clerics
Oh, no,
have
that's 23.
full,
Not-
ray
not
of
23.
sickness.
I don't have.
spells.
Anyway,
have that.
There, each of them
It's, I
does,
think, a
you
level
know, higher.
times
Yeah.
one or two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any?
Would that be under spells or?
It would be
items?
under spells because like the spell scrolls are kind of like you can put any spell on a spell scroll.
Okay.
Gaseous form. An elixir of health.
Oh, you're gas.
What's that do? Again, I'm sorry I keep asking all
For,
this. I'm just writing it down,
where
and then
it would
after we
be,
get if we get anything
like
from the
list
console.
of spells, you'll have to go to the character builder, like the
Any
edit where you
disease,
change your level.
so
Oh,
an
it's like a
elixir
website.
of health will cure any disease afflicting you, remove blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned as well. So diseased, blinded,
And how much is
deafened. That one's pretty expensive. $25.40, but there are two of them.
Like a 2-pack for 2,500?
No.
I was hoping. Damn, it's like so tough. Is there any Are there any items that would help with movement, like
Coil of slipperiness.
boots of, what is it?
Some kind of boots. That's what I was just saying.
Boots of haste, maybe? That would be
Boots.
nice. Are there any haste potions?
Pretty sure that's not a real item.
I know, that's sort of
Because
critical.
Matt Mercer, I
haste?
think, regretted that decision like halfway through that campaign. The boots of haste. Like, oh yeah, give a rogue haste anytime he wants it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's
Are
not
there
a
any
good idea.
potions of haste?
Very rare. I will say, let me get a price on that because with a very rare potion, that's going to be expensive.
Shit.
So
I had one before, but I can't remember what battle I used it on.
We used it in
oof,
the
yeah, no.
worm speaker for the blue mask at the tower afterwards.
I don't like the fact that she went, oof, yeah, no.
Not a good sign.
Hold on, potion. I put potion of haste. It should be potion of speed. Let me get the actual price here. So, a very rare potion. I am having trouble finding what the price would be for very rare.
2,000 gold. I know, it was more than that.
Say,
Which is crazy because the 2,000 gold, like, fucking half a year ago, would have, you know what I'm saying? Or remember when we first started? The look on her face, Ooh, she was bit of lemon.
Yeah, it's
It's a lot.
it's more than what you have.
Fuck.
I would say 9,600.
It's like I could play with this number, but you're looking at for a very rare potion or item,
84. That's
10,000 gold.
Ooh, you would have won that if it was pricing right. Shit.
Come on down!
Yeah, no.
We will be using a different pricing system in the
That is a great. I don't think I've ever had 10,000
yeah.
gold in this campaign. Like, not even close.
If no one listened to Zan and we sold the tower, you would have.
But then it would have ended up being like a, you sold the tower and you have, how much was it? 70 something?
5,000.
And then it would have been like, you wake up and your money is gone. You'd be like, fuck.
Or the Zens wouldn't have had to agree to work with us.
Yeah, it
'cause
would have
they
been
already
something.
they wanted.
She had more of this. Alright, is there anything else that will make Art faster? Give him more movement?
Now the question
I know,
is, though,
because I know...
Not for a price that you can afford.
I was gonna say the question is though, can you also afford to unattune from an item? Or
There's one that I would. Because Art's going to have to go all or nothing on this.
12,000
12,000?
for boots of haste of speed. Yeah, that's a really good spell.
Yeah, well, I know that I think he has them, which is, or something like Boots of
He's
Speed.
got something.
Boots of Speed, it gives him haste. That's why I was like, oh.
well, no, it doesn't give him haste. It just doubles his movement.
doubles his
Yeah.
And then he doesn't get attacks of opportunity or disadvantage.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Matt Mercer made the Boots of Haste because that's just like straight up haste spell without
Right.
concentration.
Haste is no joke.
That,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why.
Which is why Art really, really wants it.
That-
I had that
that's
one
why-
potion of haste, and I used it, and it was a complete waste. A waste of haste, one might say. It was a complete waste of a very rare, and I was like, I regretted doing it right because I think I took it, and it was like 3 turns later the battle was over, and I was like, what? Why?
Hey, Graham. Nice to see you.
Hey.
All right. Well, so
Art's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna be back. Be back later in the day, tomorrow. Hold this
I'll
stuff.
be here, sweetie.
Hold this stuff.
I'll be
Hold it.
here.
He's gonna like put it all like on the counter. Just hold all this.
You
Get-
put it on a shelf, but behind other things,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
look like
exactly.
nobody sees it.
You
It's like
see
that
the
episode of Friends when George has that suit that fits only him and one other guy, and he like hides it.
Seinfeld
Yeah, what did I say?
Friends.
Oh God, I'm an idiot. And
But
he like
as soon as you
hides
said
it.
I
Yeah.
knew exactly.
He
what
like
you meant.
hides it. I think
Oh,
behind
yeah,
some
yeah,
in
woman's
a
clothes.
different. No, he puts it in a different rack
Look
because
at this
he's
suit.
trying to rush in
Yeah.
so the other guy can't get it, and the other
I
guy doesn't
hate
even know where it
Friends
is.
too. I fucking hate the show Friends. I don't know why I said Friends.
Yeah, she puts it aside for you, and then Arwell
So
and
all the potions of healing,
yeah,
like all of them, like the
Mhm.
healing, the greater, the superior. If there's any potions of random potions of like climbing or whatever, you know, all those.
yep, there are a handful
Or the
of those.
growth. What was the one that made?
There's diminution that makes you smaller.
What was the one that made our bigger
There's
last
enlarge.
time? Yeah.
Potion of
Potion
enlarge.
of growth. Yeah.
Growth-
Well, it's the
growth
enlargement
or-
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one of a couple of those, 1 or 2 of those are, will like kind of push him in the same. You know.
As soon as you close the door, she starts putting them back.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that's exactly what happens. You're like, you're in like an open market thing. Like she's like,
Yeah,
of course,
ours
honey,
flash
of
out."
course. And then he walks. She's like, starts putting them out.
Put
You
it all
see
back.
it, and you see it. It's tough. Time's tough.
Can I roll to see if I see that?
You wouldn't be looking, so
Damn it.
passively they see that.
I mean, we got a 15 and an 18 for our passive perception.
I just wanted to see. You guys didn't tell Art. You guys are bad friends. You guys are
We don't
bad,
want to
bad
hurt your
friends.
feelings. I mean,
I
does
want
it-
you to
Arwell-
fight a little old lady.
Arwell and Zan just kind of share a look like, no. They're,
Zan,
stuff is there.
Zan was a craftsman for half a tick, so he knows how it goes. People always promise him to come back the next day.
oh, sorry.
It just never happens.
No, but you guys, yeah. So you head to the beer golem. It is lively.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were going out to drink too.
It is lively. It is,
Val
you
isn't
know.
gonna be able to afford anything.
Nope. Nope. Val comes in, and you know, interestingly, when you walk in, you do see the proprietor was a half orc woman with dark hair that, like, she had kind of not necessarily gotten in the way, but she had been getting people out of the way, and then when the guards came, she went and spoke to them and everything. Like, she didn't help you per se, but helped to keep her patrons safe. And let's see how this sounds. So yeah, it's lively in there. It is a, I don't know, Saturday night. I don't know what day of the week it is. It's a night. It's an afternoon actually. It's still the afternoon. It's like 3 or 4, but it's starting to get busy. And it's been busy, you know, with all these new folks coming in, and yeah, you've got the evening. So.
It's gonna fucking schmember.
You walk in and you see the barkeep is up at the front, and when you come in, she kind of like squints her eyes. She looks at the two of you, and she's like, "Hey, good to see you standing. Good to see you alive.
Hi.
Feels good to be alive.
Hope you're not bringing any more of that bullshit back into my tavern here."
Can't promise anything. Let's see what the night brings.
Well, with everything that's been going on, we've been really busy, so thanks for keeping people safe. First round's on me.
You're a doll. Is this the orc?
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely gonna say that.
If you can find a seat, I'll bring it over. And it's actually, as you're like, you look around, and she says like, find a seat, and there are no seats. Like, it's pretty busy, but you kind of linger on this one table that would be like really nice. And she goes, "Hey, get up!" And they're like, oh, and she's like, "There you go."
Get the VIP treatment.
And you sit down, and she brings over. She doesn't really ask you what you want. She just kind of brings over like a pitcher of beers, and yeah.
If it's on the house, we're getting whatever the special is.
Right.
The house special, yeah.
Yep. She puts it down, slides over some mugs. She actually has a mug of her own, and she pours out for all of you, and then she just like, "Here,
Thank you.
kanpai." And then she takes this one.
Is the Japanese, is that Tokyo or the Okinawan one?
Japanese. Yeah, not
Tokyo.
Okinawa. Yeah.
Ito.
And she takes a shot.
Guy from, yeah. So
And then-
I only know it because of Cobra Kai. I know you because you're a fan of Japanese
Yeah,
culture. I only
watch
know it
that
from
show.
Cobra Kai.
She walks back over to her station and lets you be. So,
Wow, she's really friendly.
You should probably know the last time we were in this bar, a bunch of people tried to kill us, like, back at the house. But, as they say, lightning rarely strikes the same place twice.
We left a bit of a mess, but it wasn't really our choice.
It does seem to happen to you all a lot. And me now.
You're one of us.
Yeah.
That's the line of work that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
We make messes and we fix messes.
We may not look for trouble, but it seems
Trouble
to find
seems
us.
to find you all.
There's a certain magnetism about us when it comes to trouble. So, you nervous about what's coming?
Oh, a little. I'm gonna take Charlie out and seat him on a coaster on the table. Do they have any snacks here? Yes.
Are there like peanuts or anything on the table?
you see some up at the.
Alright, so
At the-
grab whatever. Like if they're like baskets.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like punch something out and grab one. But, you know, there's like some just random like bar snacks.
Yeah,
And
they're
then-
more like pork rinds, like they're like the crunchy, like it.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
pork rinds.
snap off little pieces, and if it's okay, he's gonna try to like teach the the toss up and catch in your mouth like what you do with M&Ms. He's gonna try to do that with Charlie. Yeah, Charlie! Like, you know.
Backing him on the top of the head.
Yeah, he's bouncing off him. He's gonna be surrounded by like a little pie. And then when he gets it, I was gonna be like, yeah! I don't know why I just turned into a fucking frat boy, but it happened. So
Zan will rub his hands together and then touch his neck and cast Speak with Animals and say, "Well, Charlie, it's been too long, but I'd like to actually say hello."
Does that make them talk back?
Yes, I gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived in the past day. You might be able to get a beast a small favor at the GM's discretion. So,
That last part.
Let's
sounds
see.
good.
What's,
We're gonna say
what's Charlie's voice sound like, DM?
Charlie is gonna get mouse stats because that makes sense. Which would put his intelligence at a 3, but I'm gonna give him a little bit more. We'll give it. We'll put it like a 5. We'll say intelligence 5. So Charlie can
A
like.
smart fucking guinea pig.
He's been hanging out with me for a long
Guinea pig,
time.
right?
Yeah.
So Charlie's a little bit, a little bit more. But I don't know what Charlie sounds like. What does Charlie sound like? Oh, I guess maybe. Well, it depends on you. Do you want to be Charlie?
No.
Hey, no problem, bro. He's got a wicked deep voice. You ever watched Adventure Brothers?
No.
Ah, fuck. You know nobody here?
Nope.
Nobody knows who Dr. and Mrs. Dr. Girlfriend or
Oh,
Mrs.
yeah, I know
are.
that one. Yeah.
It's a woman, a pretty woman, but with the
Very
deepest voice
deep
you've
voice.
ever fucking heard. Ever heard.
So when you say that, Charlie just kind of like looks over, very confused, for a moment, and is like, "You got any snacks?"
I've been throwing snacks at him.
Yeah.
Pork rinds.
Do guinea pigs eat animals?
They eat whatever you...
Don't mind him. I don't think he realizes you're a vegetarian. I'll see if we can find some nuts up at the bar for you.
Thanks.
Hey, where you going? Get under the basket of pork rinds.
Zan comes back with
He fucking loves
He
them. Look at him.
nuts or I don't know, whatever else. It would be finger foods at a bar that.
Hampshire foods.
Yeah.
Charlie's like, "So are we headed somewhere scary?"
Yes. We are going to be going to the Well of Dragons. It's very far from here, so you'll need to keep an eye on our well. Make sure she stays safe.
Always. He's gonna scoot over a little closer.
So do we hear Zan talking? It's like all
Oh, it's mental
mental.
communication?
I think it's Well, no, maybe you do. Maybe you're. Oh my God!
One
He's
half of the
going.
conversation.
Are you
guys
talking
hearing
in
So-
guinea pig now?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking normally to him, but there's definitely like
That'd
he's
be
like
so much
And then
better if
he's,
you were
like,
talking
making his
in
little-
guinea pig. Like, dude, what the fuck? You know how to speak rodent this whole time?
oh yes, me and Micaiah. I used to speak to Micaiah when she went into beast form. So yes, I can do that. We just haven't had much of a reason, but Charlie's been great so far. So
I'm just
So-
gonna get sad when he mentions Micaiah.
You're all at the.
Just kind of holding this.
You're all in the place. At the beer golem.
And Zan's talking to Charlie.
just casually too, because Zan is weird. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand it's socially awkward to.
I
talk to
was
someone
trying
else.
to get Charlie to catch pork rinds in their mouth, little bits of the frat, like, you know. Well, apparently they're vegetarian. I didn't know that. So all this like not catching them was actually on purpose. Apparently, it sounds like. So he's throwing a little mound of uneaten pork rinds.
So, anything you want to do while you're?
Arg is gonna drink to his heart's content to try to forget about what just happened yesterday and what's coming up tomorrow.
At a certain point, you hear a voice go, "Oh, hi!" And you look up and you see a tall human woman with olive skin and brown hair, a little bit kind of little flyaways, and you recognize Natalie, who won the Boots of
Won the ice race.
the ice race. And you can tell as she's standing there with in the crowd, she is looking at you all, but then is kind of like looking around to see if, maybe Abaddon is somewhere.
Unfortunately, Abaddon is not with us this time.
Oh, I hope she's all right.
She's away on business.
Sounds important.
She is an important person.
I'm Natalie, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Well, good.
Oh, well, this is Charlie.
Nice to meet you. I was kind of here by happenstance with these folks and a couple of others.
We met her the same day the last time we came here.
Yeah.
Just collect people.
Well, they basically saved my life, so.
No, that's what we do.
Yeah. Well, if you see Abaddon, let her know I said hi, and
I'm sure she'll be glad to hear you're doing well.
yeah. I know that they're gathering soldiers, and a bunch of my friends have headed out that way. I've been thinking about it, but I'm, be maybe foolhardy. I don't know. Not really trained.
You'd make a good messenger. You run fast.
I didn't really think of that.
That would be key.
Right, there's all kinds of ways that you can help people. Not everyone's meant for the front lines, but there's plenty of work that can be done if you want to help people. I'm sure we can find a way.
You don't need to swing a sword to make a difference.
I didn't really think of that. I'd been, thinking about going up and signing up for something, but I didn't really know what to do, so it's good I ran into you.
She dies, it feels bad.
Hey, she either dies a hero or she dies a nobody.
They're going to say lives long enough to become the villain.
Oh, let's hope
She's
not.
the big bad from the next
She
campaign.
puts on the mask. I am now Tiamat.
Oh, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Well, I don't want to disturb you, so enjoy your drinks and cheers to
It's good seeing you.
the fall of Tiamat, right?
Aye.
Does everybody know what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a secret that their cult has been going. There's lots of refugees in the city.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Cat's out of the bag.
there's a lot of refugees around. It's kind of really scary. Cities have their problems, but then you kind of take for granted sometimes, like the protection that is also afforded you when you're outside of the city walls.
Shitty wall.
It's just not a lot of protection sometimes. So yeah, we've been hearing a lot of stories, a lot of scary stories, a lot of people missing people, and I guess they're gathering up folks and marching them to the east. So
Well, that will stop soon.
I hope so. I'll do my part.
Sure, keep yourself safe as well.
I will.
Don't do anything foolhardy.
I never do. I'm not. My heart is kind of pounding at the thought of going and actually signing up. I'd convinced myself there was nothing I could do, and now you gave me an actual good idea. So anyway, I won't keep you. Just go keep drinking with my friends, but I'm glad to see that you're here and doing well, and hopefully the rest of you are. I'm glad Abaddon's doing well.
It's good to see you, Natalie. Stay safe.
All right. Good night. And she heads off to her group.
Hey guys, a group of freaks convinced me to put my life on the line.
Back. I don't have a good excuse anymore.
I was going to say we just became World War I recruiters.
Do your part.
Well, seeing as how this may be our last time in a tavern, I guess there's one thing that we could do is share thoughts, memories together. So I guess if there's any questions anyone has about anyone, this would be the time to do it. So, who wants to start?
Are still looking at his
Should we do rollies to see who starts?
What do you want to know? I'm not that dwarf. Who would not tell you anything yet still at this point.
And it's a damn shame. You miss that dwarf.
Val, do you have any family?
Oh no, I was found as a babe.
No woman in your life? Or man?
I mean, you travel as much as I do, you break hearts in towns as you pass. No, the Order is my family.
You haven't met the right one yet.
In this line of work, you don't want to get too attached.
That's understandable. Have you ever thought of looking into your family? I mean, you say you were a foundling. Had to have come from somewhere.
I asked once, and they gave me the town, but there is nothing there but embers and overgrown trees. I don't see how I would be able to find much more. I don't even know what destroyed it. Yeah.
Who was it that found you?
That means he has
Oh, it's the Order that found me. One of the... Oh, I don't know who exactly. They don't write that down. They just find babes and just bring them back to one of our locations. No one claimed me. And I was just put there and until I was of age and old enough to start the rituals. You know, I was one of the 1 in 10 that survived. So, you know, good for me.
It's impressive.
Lucky.
Did you have anyone in the order that you were like close to? Like a best friend?
I have many friends. We're all brothers and sisters. You know, the one who trained me would be the closest that I would have called to a family or mother, you know, and that particular familiar box. But yeah, no, she's been long gone now for a good 10 years.
I'm sorry.
It's part of the job. We no need to mourn. Death comes for us all. Only natural.
Did she die in battle, or did she die in some other method?
Oh no, she died on the job. Torn right in half by a big ugly beastie. It wasn't pleasant to identify, but you know, we underestimated that creature, but we got it eventually.
You were there?
I was not.
Oh, good.
I was no longer apprentice at that point, but when I heard I had to go, and I had to see. I had to lift one side of the blanket and then the other side of the blanket and say, yeah, that's her.
I assume that not many people from the Order die of old age.
A handful each year, maybe. You don't really want, it's boring. You don't want to die in your bed.
You know, I would have said the same thing before I went on this crazy adventure or whatever you'd call it. I was envisioning myself dying on a battlefield somewhere. Glorious death, but now I see there is a particular allure to dying an old man. For me at least.
Well, you got a bonny lass.
It's true.
You have a bonny lass?
Oh, I have a bonny lass! I do.
Tell me about her.
Oh!
What does she look like?
She's beautiful. She's got bright gold brown eyes and long auburn brown hair. She's actually a half elf, like this one over here. Almost as good of a shot with a bow. She can dance. She can dance. She can sing music. I met her at Drake Point when I was coming across the inner sea on the way to Sea Hall, and I saw her in a tavern, not really unlike this one. And it's odd, on this side of the world it seems like half-elves are common, but on my side of the continent, where I'm from, they're really not. It seems like there's elves and they're almost outcasts, half-elves, for some reason. That's why I was so shocked when I met you and when I met you and Micaiah. That's why I was so shocked to see two of you in one place, it never happens back home. But
Sword Coast.
yeah, I've seen things here that I've never seen back home, and I'm well traveled fairly for a man of my lands. I've seen flying castles and more creatures and humanoids, and that I've never seen back home. So it's been.
Where is it you're from?
You ever heard of Chisenta?
Oh, yeah. That's far out there.
It's about 7,000, 6,000 miles from a land, a city-state, a part of it, called Westermarn.
They don't like us there. We don't get many calls for our services there.
In Westermarn in particular, blood magic is probably one of... They don't look kindly upon it where I'm from.
Well, few do.
Wars, we had a mage war, and it wrecked the country, the nation, for quite a long time.
It's an old magic. One of the original magics. Long forgotten.
Chisenta's an old place, and they still don't look upon it with kind eyes.
Fair enough.
Someday, maybe if we all make it through this, you guys can come see me when I make it back home. Me and Leah, hopefully, we make it there and all in one piece when Tiamat is through with. You guys can come see me on my lands. The most beautiful villa you've ever seen. It's the Fire Song Villa. I'll show you everything.
I can't wait.
And how'd you come up with Charlie? Where'd you two meet?
I just sort of happened upon him in the forest. I was visiting somewhere that I hadn't been in a really long time, and it wasn't what I was expecting, but he was there. So he's kind of stayed with me ever since.
Do you, as you look over at Zan, do you talk to him? Like, understand him? Him, her? Charlie?
No, he's very expressive, but I don't
He's
really
gonna
understand.
He's gonna put
I
a
can't
little
really
fist
speak
bump.
to him.
Fist bump with Charlie.
I'm totally picturing Nibbler at this point. When we're asleep, he pulls out a little UFO and he speaks like this and like goes to save the galaxy.
So you just found him one day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, seems to be how we've all come across each other. We've all found each other in one way or another. So
Yeah, I found him at a time when I really needed anyone. I was alone for a while, so once I found him, it was nice to not feel alone anymore.
those you lost, your family.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
thank you. It was a long time ago. It's still hard, but it was a long time ago.
We're, in one way or another, we're all accustomed to loss of some kind. So you're in good company here. Except for this one, he doesn't seem to bother him as much, but to each their own.
When you're brought up that way, and don't get me wrong, I mourn my brothers and sisters that pass. But, again, death is interesting and natural. We don't fear it. You can mourn it, but they're on to better things.
Maybe. Hopefully. Our such, kind of not sneakily, but kind of just surreptitiously, just hold that pendant that he carved out of the knight's thing. What about you, Zan? After all this, if this goes according to plan, what's your plan? After all this, go back to Greenest, live a quiet life, or are you wearing that?
Yes.
And what? I haven't seen that before on you. When did you come up with that?
Romalia was given it by someone she can't remember, so mean, someone who is familiar with the Fae would know memories and thoughts can be manipulated. So
That sounds,
so I'll just say it seems to be a gift from a friend. But after we're done here, I tried living a normal life. I think no matter what, there'll always be someone that needs help. So I think I'm in this life like Val for the long haul.
If you weren't too old, I'd say you could join us.
I think I'll be alright though.
No, you're too old. You'll die.
so you plan on just staying with the Harpers and doing what good you can?
They have a good moral core, and quite honestly, I don't know if we make it this far without them.
Oh, absolutely not.
And like I said, I know what it was like hoping somebody would come and save me as a child. If I can do that for someone, that's what I'm going to do.
He's daft, but I like where his heart is.
It's a good purpose. I like it. Approved.
So, Arwell, are you originally from the Sword Coast, or do you come from the wilds?
Well, I come from the wilds. A small village there. With my family.
The Wilds?
The Feywild.
Ah.
It's just the wilds there.
To those that know about it. Sorry.
How long have you been? How
I
long
don't know
have
much
you and your
about
family
Fae.
been here?
Well, so my path was kind of complicated. So when I was young, I lived in our village with my parents and my brother, but we were attacked one day, and some slavers came, and I'm not sure what they did with all the adult furbolgs, but most of us, younger ones, they took, my brother and I. And I'm gonna kind of like turn my ear, and there's like a brand in it. So, my brother and I got separated pretty quickly, and I spent a long time basically being muscle for some really unsavory people. I don't like to think about it, but you know, there was a lot of years of that, and then good news is like they got attacked by some other unsavory people, so you know I got away that way, at least. Really just wanted to get away from fighting in general, but it's, you know, what I'm good at, I guess. So fighting and healing, but I wasn't healing yet at that point, so I got away. And
how did you become a folk of the cloth, I suppose, a cleric of peace?
well, after I tried to go back to my village, everything had been burned down and was gone. And that's where I found Charlie, actually. He was kind of the only living thing left there. But, you know, in my travels, I managed to secure a position as security at Temple of Sune, which was a really nice experience for me because I spent so much of my life around gore and blood and pain and suffering, and everything was beautiful there, and everyone was beautiful there. And I think Sune took pity on me, which was nice of her. But that's...
You know of your brother?
no.
It's a hard life. Zen will pull his sleeve down. You'll see scars from chains around his wrists. To
now I have you guys. And Charlie. I sort of just, it's funny you guys talk about how you're gonna, you want to keep fighting, and I just want to settle down.
Truth be told, so do I. I spent most of half my life now fighting as a mercenary, and now this, and that's all I want to do. Also, just go home.
I want to have a garden.
Sounds nice.
Grow potatoes.
That was so hard not. That wasn't even a hint of Val. Ooh.
Grow yourself some potatoes.
There's lots of land where I'm from. You'll be more than welcome when we get through all this to come settle. There's lots of land for whatever you want to grow and potatoes.
That sounds wonderful. I love root vegetables, so that would be really nice. And flowers.
Starchy roots are good for energy.
Oh, aye. When you're on the road for long times, you just dig them up and you eat them like an apple.
Well, you'll have to come visit, and I will collect some for you.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated.
You've never made it out that far from here?
Close, but again, like, they... See, we're all over the place. I am based out of Cormier, so that is mostly where I travel. But I go where they send me, even as this far. But, my brothers and sisters, we don't get called over to Chisenta again because they kind of don't like us and what we do, and they think we're boogie and scally. Not that any of us have not slipped into your lands and assisted those who have actually called to us, but most places we get special accommodations from the nobility and the royalty because they appreciate what we do. They know our specialities, but not your lands.
Well, those in Chisenta and Westermont in particular tend to stay. They don't travel as much outside. So I do have an appreciation for what you do, and you and your order and your brothers and sisters.
Oh, thank you.
Early in our travels, we were on a boat, and I myself was actually aged 40 or 50 years into an old man by some sort of a ghost of some kind.
Aye.
Luckily, we were able to find a temple. A nice woman was able to turn me back.
Yeah, Trixie, those ones.
It was not pleasant. My bones, everything hurt.
I know how that feels.
Not looking forward to it again. It's our old friend Erdnot. It makes me wonder. It doesn't make me jealous for his age, being 300 and something years old.
Well, dwarves only get hard here with age. It's different for us.
Them. Sorry, I thought you were...
I'm human too. I might not
Sorry.
look like it,
Sorry.
but I am also a human being.
I'm not a cyclops, I promise. Sorry, I thought you were talking as a context of Erdnot. Yeah, that's true, but still, you could hear his... When he stood up, you could hear his little knees pop and snap. Could still swing a hammer, though. I tell ya. He could still swing his great hammer.
Aye.
Oh, I need another drink. I'm just gonna get up and go to the bar and get another drink. You want another one?
I'm so good.
Cool.
Right.
Irish gonna leave. Good.
Is there anything you want to discuss as the evening wears on, or do we want to take a break? All right. So
Let's
you
eat some wild pig.
you continue on discussing and chatting and people watching, and we will take a break as your evening comes to an end. You spend hours there and head back to the castle.
How drunk?
Well
are we?
drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's up to you all, but
Are you gonna make us roll for it?
not. I mean, did you want to be drunk or not?
Zan's not looking to get drunk. Zan is casually drinking. He's not getting hammered.
Ours. Right on that edge.
He's like,
Really?
just what is that? Trailer
Just a
park
click.
with- yeah.
Just a click.
Just past the click, right?
Yeah.
You fucking slot.
He's not sloppy, but he's definitely hanging on somebody.
I'm drunk enough to really enjoy what I'm doing, but I'm sober enough to remember.
Like he's really hanging on because you're bigger than he is. So he's like, yeah, like we had a great time. Just as good.
Just past the click, right? You fucking slot.
I'll have everybody make a perception check as we go into break.
17.
With disadvantage because you're.
Oh no! But I was just past the click. Shit, because that would have been a nat 20 plus 5 for a 25.
Come on, there's still a chance.
There's
can
still a
roll.
chance?
You can roll it.
That's a 19.
Whoa.
It's a 24.
See, it's because he
It's-
goes.
Well, no, it's
How?
because he's just at that point where
That's
the
another
eyes,
19. What am I doing? That's
The eyes are
13.
just starting to separate a
It's
little
not
bit.
working. It's
So
not
he's
working.
got that extra wide.
Woo!
So
roll
the,
it. Keep it going.
8.
8. Boo.
Because I
So the
touched
three
it.
of you, Arwell's very focused on making sure that everyone's okay. But the three of you, you swear as you're walking through the streets that, like, you see a little somebody following you.
A little something.
A little somebody.
A little somebody. But every time you kind of go to look, like,
It's like,
Like
that
you
thing
see
that's on
them
the
there.
side of your vision. What is it?
but they're not there when you go to look. So
Can Zan, like, as we're like walking, do that like stealthily, like duck into an alley to try and like see if you can see Issa, like doing that, like between
Make
like
a-
people.
make a
Might not
stealth
be
check.
Elsa. Issa? Or is it Elsa? Oh shit.
Oh fuck! I was gonna say
I'm invisible.
if you roll low enough, it was gonna
Is
be
that, are you
Elsa.
on 30, what is that? 32.
35.
Oh yeah.
no, you can definitely. But I'm gonna make a roll. No.
That was 2 nat 20s. And then a 19, which was super close.
Still.
One for you.
It's night. It's hot. Can we fight Tiamat tonight?
No.
'Cause we're all rolling like good.
You
It's the extra drinks.
Just
so at a
lands
certain
in the
point
middle
you
of
like
town.
duck into an alley and like kind of sit like to wait it out because you've seen her. But as you're waiting and waiting and waiting, she never passes you.
Can she be above him in the dark, like holding on to the two walls? They're just trying to out-stealth each
And you
other.
only give it a few seconds, like, you know,
Yeah.
a reasonable amount of
Solid
time
Snake
before
versus
like
Sam
kind of
Fisher.
look
Yeah.
out and she's not there. But anyway, you head back into the castle and back to your keep, and that is where we will take a break.
Walk by the guards like, hey, how you doing?
I got a big meeting in the morning. I only had a couple of
Oh, I
beers.
gotta fight a 5-headed dragon, I swear to God.
So we are going to take a break. We are going to eat some food, and then we will be back. And then I will let you all know who won our dice for last month, because I didn't say it out loud, did I? I just said that I knew who it was. All right, we will be back. We are back.
Oh, I know.
Hello.
And
You didn't play.
so for those of you who are familiar with our stream, you will know that we typically once per month do a drawing, which you can enter into our monthly giveaway for Almost Critical, beautiful handmade artisanal dice. We did not do the giveaway drawing on the 4th, but we are doing it today. And so it is with great pleasure that I announce that the winner of the September dice, it's October, is our very own local Morel 3D Prints. A patron of ours. And patrons get automatic entries. So anybody can enter, but patrons kind of set it and forget it. So patron of ours is the winner for September. So congratulations, Aaron. For those of you out there who don't know, you can see, I'm sure you've seen pop up underneath me throughout the stream. You can go check out his Patreon. For those who have watched us play our arena battles, that arena was designed by Aaron at Morel 3D Prints. It was printed by Studio 307 in the compound, and it was painted by John from Tabletop Games in Westport. So, we are coming back to our game. The Bums have had an evening of reminiscing, getting to know each other, drinking, and then headed back towards the castle Waterdeep for some rest.
Getting to know each other just in time then.
Better late than never. So you all slept, rested, and the following morning, wake up, get yourselves ready, and approximately midway through the day, you're summoned to the council chambers, the council meeting hall, where at least 3 of you have met before, and this will be your first time. That little bit of anxiety that kind of wells up as you are unsure. At least these others have been very familiar with what the room looks like, who's going to be there, but this is a completely new experience for you. So you gather up your belongings. Is there anything you want to prep chat about before you go down?
Is there anything I should know before we go into this?
Oh, I should change the music.
There'll be a lot of shouting. The hell accent to that? There'll be a lot of shouting.
Oh.
It's politics. It's not fun.
Not my strong suit.
Me neither. That's why I just stay quiet and eat snacks. There's cakes on the side.
Ooh.
Just don't get up and walk to get the cake.
Alright, so I'll laugh to myself. Remembering. What happened? I did that. He misses Abaddon too.
If anything, grab something on the way out.
Okay.
All right. So you head down through the halls, the guards bringing you through a little bit of a maze that is the castle Waterdeep, and find yourselves entering through just outside of the council chamber. Like as you're going through the halls, you begin to hear a little bit of kind of shouting, recognizing the voice of Ambassador Conrad Brawnanvil, the dwarf, and the voice of Antharfrum, which is very loud. So the two of them going back and forth over something. And people outside of the room, like guards, and then folks that are kind of walking by, just like look at each other. You can hear some whispers, and as you're led up to the double doors, the guards just swing them open, and there is a long hallway, probably I would say like 20 or so feet, that leads down into an open, circular room with stone room with windows, stained glass that kind of look out into, well, it's hard to see because there's stained glass and there's colors on them, but out into some kind of, not towards the city, but perhaps some greenery outside. In the room, you see a circular table in the center. Along the sides, where there are braziers like on the wall and sconces, you can also see some tables that have been set up with like teas and cakes and all of this food that it looks like people maybe ate prior to. You do see a couple of folks that have stuff in front of them. Along the sides of the wall, there are also chairs that have been set up along, just like up against the wall, where the table is in the center, circular. Standing at the head of the table, you see Lady Laurel Silverhand. She's the Open Lord of Waterdeep. And she is looking frustrated as the folks standing all around her get quiet as you come in, and each of the individuals you see to her right is Lord Daggelt and Neverember, who is the leader of Neverwinter. The Marshal Elder Ravengard, who is sporting the flaming fist of Baldur's Gate. A couple of folks that you wouldn't recognize, but the dwarf Conrad Bronanvil, you can see the king of the Misty Forest Elves, King Melandrock, is standing as well with his very ornate headgear. Romalia Haventree, the leader of the Harpers, and then several others, including a couple of new faces, those one of which you recognize, Ambassador Nye Ilmik, who is standing or sitting at the table. They've added some extra chairs. And
thing like bothering the person next to her.
It goes mostly up.
I say that.
And then a tiefling with I believe it's purple skin and dark hair, and that's Rian Nightblade, who is of the Zend Harem. And as you walk in, everyone gets quiet, and Lady Larell stands up and says, welcome. We have our guests. Now everyone can please settle down as we can discuss what has been observed and found from our champions of Greenest. She refuses to call you Bums.
Understandable.
So as you come into the room and just kind of like take your seats along the side there, you hear Onthar Froome immediately just kind of looks over at Larell, and he's like, I understand that we have the good faith of the Red Wizards of Thay, but I feel as if we could have done this without. And Larell is just like, this is not the time. This is not the time, Onthar. We must come together. There's a little bit of back and forth, as you can also tell that that Marshal Ravengard from the Baldur's Gate, he's on board with what Onthar is saying. And so they start to get a little bit loud, but then Romalia stands up, and at the same time, Ambassador Bronanvil stands up. And he says, he like speaks over her as she's trying to calm everyone down, and he says, well, I for one refuse to stand beside the Red Wizards of Thay. This is all a ploy. Everyone kind of gets a little bit quiet as he's the first one to state out loud basically like a decision that he is making. And he says, the dwarves have not been consulted on a lot of things that have happened. We had concessions made in our name that we did not agree to. Now we have them sitting beside us as if we're kin. No, the dwarves will not join you. We will stay behind. We will protect should things fall, and we will retreat to our own lands beneath and weather out this storm as we have many others. So we will fight beside you here, but not at the front lines. And you see like Lord Neverember just kind of shakes his head as he's sitting there. That's quite unfortunate. We of course will appreciate any aid that you can give to all of us here. on the Sword Coast. But you will be sorely missed in the final battle. You see the tiefling Rian Nightblade. She just has like a little bit of a smirk on her face. And she says, well, while we are discussing who will be and who will not be at the front, the Zentarum will also not be sending anyone to the front lines. While it appears that this council has been readily accepting our intelligence, helping to position us for success in the aftermath of this does not appear to have been a priority. And she just kind of like tilts her head and looks in your direction.
Attacks!
The battle begins.
Quick, cast bless.
Yeah, so she just kind of tilts and looks in your direction. And Ramalia looks over at Rian and says, this is unexpected and quite frankly unacceptable. We have been trading intelligence amongst each other. It has not been a one-way street. And Rian says, we have given you far more than intelligence, and yet you have not provided for us in return. So we will not send anyone to the front. We will do the same. We will still share intelligence that we find, and we will send our folks between the larger cities, but we will ensure that no one sneaks past. But I will not send anyone to die alongside you all when it is clear that you do not view us as equals. She just sits down. Larell just kind of nods in her direction and then looks around the circular table at everyone else and just says, is there anyone else who will not join in this very important battle? And no one else states that they will not. And in fact, Sir Isteval, who you remember from the first council meeting when he stated that he was actually a spy from Cormyr and it set everyone off, he says, Cormyr will be sending aid. We will fight alongside everyone at this table who will join us. We have already sent, and folks are converging at El Terrell as previously discussed. So at this point, you see Larell like nods, and then she looks back at the rest of you. We would be remiss if we did not thank our champions of Greenest who have come from far to the south and east to lend their hand at bringing folks together, bringing us all together, speaking up for the Harpers and the Order of the Gauntlet, who were the first to bring this threat, who have convinced the metallic dragons, and she looks at Braun Anvil, to join our cause, who have convinced the Red Wizards of Thay, and she looks at Ambassador Knight, and my eye is twitching, and I don't know why. And while we may not all see eye to eye under different circumstances, right now is not the time. The Red Wizards, we appreciate, have a great understanding of the exiles that are helping the Cult of the Dragon to fulfill their ritual. We must stop it, or none of us will be here to complain about our misgivings about one another in a month's time. If Tiamat comes, she will be coming for us all equally. I believe she will start with those who stand beside her, but they are not here for me to warn them, nor would they listen. So instead, we will focus, and we will move forward together. Is there anything that our champions would like to say, to share?
Hello, everybody. Good of Corn here. I believe we've met before. Lord Broadenville. When the tales of this glorious victory are written, and the songs are sung, you do not want your people to be prominently sung about.
We will sing our own songs.
Aye,
Blood Hunter.
maybe you will.
We will. We have for centuries, we will for centuries after. But you, of course, will be successful.
Of course.
We will stand behind and ensure that no one breaks through while you are off fighting on the front.
But should we not be successful, do you think that the god of evil dragons cannot burrow and turn rock into glass? Your fortresses will be your tombs.
Then we will pray to Bahamut.
Ah, yes. Bahamut, the traveler that has thus far not interfered. Do you think that Bahamut will come to your aid, but no one else's?
Perhaps. But that is not of your concern, Lord.
Oh, just Val. You can call me just Val.
Just Val. I bid you good luck on your venture to the Well of Dragons.
I bid you something as well.
You do know that should you not join us, and Tiamat is not defeated, you will die in your holes in the ground.
I just said that.
We shall see.
There will be no one left to hear your songs of how brave you were in the ground.
This is rich coming from those such as yourselves who live such a short life. Worry not about the dwarves.
This is rich coming from one who had to send short-lived beings to do things that you could not.
That was not my asking, and then
But we
people
did.
start to get all like riled up.
Rabble,
And then you see Lord Lord Neverember stands up and, please, everyone. We will not convince good Ambassador Braun Anvil, nor will we convince the Zentarum. The decisions have been made.
That means we can't roll persuasions.
No, your persuasion was everything that you've done over the past 3 years.
What do we do to piss off the dwarfs?
You don't have one? That's part of the
So Larell also states, Ambassador, I understand your misgivings, and we appreciate and respect your decision. I know that it is a tough place to be to represent all of a particular region. In addition, I understand your anger at the recent discovery that we have, in fact, obtained the alliance of the giants as well. I believe that this will go far, and not to say that they are stronger than the dwarves, but we will appreciate their alliance and we will take it. We will not send them away. And he goes, So if it is too much to ask for you to stand beside the Red Wizards of Thay and the Stone Giants and the Cloud Giants and the Metallic Dragons, we will respect that decision. The giants are on their way. We can only hope that they will arrive in time. At this point, King Melindrock, the king of the Misty Forest Elves, he doesn't stand. He's already kind of tall and like lanky in his seat. But he says, "And what of the dragon masks? It is my opinion that they should go to the champions. We have all agreed that the champions will be sent forth ahead to stake out and then to wait for the final fight. There is no way that our army will push forth through the Well of Dragons. We must be smart. So while our armies fight, you have proven yourselves to be very worthy so far. Your companions, who I do not see here, but Erdnot Brewbottle, Micaiah Malos, they did great service for the Misty Forest Elves. We have done some studying of those masks. I believe that they should be given the masks. Then they shall have a greater time of potentially beating Severin and the Red Wizards, and hopefully it doesn't come to Tiamat herself. And Delan, Winterhound of the Emerald Enclave, wearing all his green and ranger, he just kind of like nods. I agree. From what we can tell, those who are wearing the mask, of course, you will need to be quite careful about the influence that it can have. But it should protect you as well. And without it, we don't know exactly how weakened the ritual will be if Severin does not have them. 2 out of 5 has got to have an impact.
Any and all weapons and magics that can be brought to bear against this. This is the time. It may not be a tomorrow.
Everyone kind of like turns and looks at the Open Lord of Waterdeep, and she nods. And you see her look past to one of the guards, and she says, "Bring in the masks and the items set aside." And within a few seconds, they brought in several boxes that they march past you and put on the table. Like they make a little space for them to lay out the boxes on the table. And when they open them, you can see the 2 dragon masks. There is the black with the horns that come straight out in front, looking just like the black half-dragon that you defeated, Resmir. And then the blue, which again you were very familiar with, as Lenathon had become very a repeat person in your lives. The large horn that sticks up in the front. And they kind of lay those out on the table. And then you see Larel looks to you, Val, and she says, "Step forward, please, Ghost Slayer. To you I give this amulet of health." And she slides over this amulet that, as it gets closer, you can see that it kind of has a reddish tinge. There's a gold around the side and red gem in the center. This will keep you standing longer.
That's quite pretty. Thank you, milady.
And a mantle of spell resistance. She hands you as well. Arwell, please step forward. And she hands you, or they open up a box, and in there you can see this shining armor that's like bright and it's like reflecting light that almost doesn't exist in the room. It's just like this white, beautiful armor. And she says, "Adamantine armor." and to keep those around you from falling.
Here what you guys, armored dwarven kind.
That's what happens when you sub out the character.
She hands a staff. It's got this like carving of various like faces, and she says, "This is a staff of healing to keep those around safe." These are from your order, Val of Cormier.
What is?
The items that you have been handed.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Thank you. They always come through. What are the items again?
Did you not write down what I just said to you?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The mantle of protection.
Amulet of health and a mantle of spell resistance.
Spell resistance. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I only got half of what was said not to me.
Mantle of spell resistance.
Yes. And then she says, and to Arwell a gift from Ramalia Haventree, and she looks to Ramalia, who smiles at you as you had been in the employ of her husband for quite some time, the Masked Lord of Waterdeep, one of the Masked Lords of Waterdeep. As a thank you to all that you have done.
Thank you.
We have, for the rest, for all of you, several what we could muster. Potions of healing, of strength, and we will hand those out. And when this is all over, should we all survive, or even some of us at this table, you will be greatly rewarded. The hoard of the Dragon Queen is within that well of dragons. And while most of it should go back to the people, you are of the people and have done a great service. Your families will be well taken care of. Your orders, your friends, if you leave a list of names or associates, we will make sure that they are found and they are compensated. But of course we will hope for your return. That said, we do also understand that you are headed directly into the mouths of the beast. And she is coming from the Nine Hells. So, your sacrifice of time, resources, energy, life and limb are very much appreciated. And our duty is to the people of the Sword Coast. That's why we are here in this room. There's a lot of talk, but it's important talk.
Arak is gonna bow. And she says,
So you will go?
we will.
Aye.
Ready?
All right.
Great team.
Love the enthusiasm too.
And Arak, as you are standing there, at, like outside of the circle table, you feel this like very, very warm, like radiance coming from the sword that's by your side. And like you look down and you can see it's in a sheath, so it's not like it's like, but it's like there is on the edge, that warmth is like, it catches you off guard because it's like right there, and it starts to like kind of feel like it's moving down your leg, but only just a little. Like it got very warm, and then it fades back down, and you saw just a little bit of light come out the sides of the sheath and then fade.
that's it's funny because when you say
Yeah.
you feel it down your leg, I'm like, did I just pinch myself?
Yes, you did.
Ooh, shake a pant leg.
Yes, so Romalia also looks at everyone at the table. She's not looking at you all, but she looks at everyone is standing around, and she says, I would like to state as just a reminder to everyone here that we are owed nothing. None of us here are owed anything. Our duty is to the people of the Sword Coast and those beyond to do what we can with the knowledge that we have, and to avenge those that we have already lost, to ensure that we do not lose more than is necessary. So we have agreed, without the Zentarum and the dwarves, that we will meet outside of El Terrell as we have agreed, and we will begin the march. The majority of you all have sent your folks to get things ready. I believe that the Flaming Fist and those under your oversight, Marshal, are already there in El Terrell. And he nods, and then Tairn Hornblade says, the Silvery Moon arcane casters are also there. Sir Esteval lets them know that those from Cormier have already been sent as well. And I forget who it was that was coming up from the south. But Anthar Froome also agrees. And so once you have, as they start to go around the table, you come to understand that almost everyone is there. Neverember, he has a much smaller group because it's mostly from Neverwinter, but the majority are already outside of El Terrell waiting and ready to go. And there will be some that will meet like as they are marching north. But they are ready. And Laeral then looks at you all and says, so what we would ask is that tomorrow, or no later than the day after, we will transport you from here in the castle to El Terrell. You will meet up with the marching soldiers, carry on ahead, not too far. It is very dangerous. There are dragons flying all day and night. We would like to avoid direct confrontation until it is unavoidable. The goal would be to get you as close as possible, begin the assault, and then as we are fighting, get you closer and into the Well of Dragons. They are summoning something.
Do you have anybody, any spies or rangers that may have a better idea of the lay of the land inside the Well of Dragons?
Our spies have confirmed that all of the land within 100 miles of the well is barren. It has all been destroyed. It's as if her essence has spread out and killed every tree, every blade of grass. We will be marching with no cover directly into this well. There are demons, there are fiends, there are cultists, the red wizards that have been exiled. The Arcane Brotherhood will also meet us there. But the land itself is barren. And again, within the well, something is coming up from the ground. But we have not seen it. We cannot get close enough. There are rumblings. It has gotten very loud. And the Drakehorn, we've all almost gotten used to it by now. It's daily, seemingly daily call. But it has become slightly more frequent. for those that we have had tasked with timing the calls. But unfortunately, we go into much that is unknown. They have warded against our magics, and they have been very careful to keep people out that they don't recognize. We have lost many of our spies within that well. So I would ask you, who among you will be donning the black dragon mask and the blue?
I want a mask.
Not particularly.
I feel you. You might have the most raw power amongst all of us.
Yeah?
It is not necessary that you must. However, if you choose not to, you must keep it safe and ensure that it does not end up in the hands of those continuing the ritual.
So either we bring them as weapons or we leave them someplace where the cult cannot get at them.
Do we know what they do?
Yeah. That was my question.
You've conducted your studies?
We have been told that when you wear the mask, you become... She kind of like stops and looks over at Neverember, and he just kind of is like attuned in a way to the type of chromatic dragon. They will not listen to you, so do not mistake me.
Well,
But-
we've seen that firsthand.
You can understand their motivations, perhaps persuade them, perhaps, and you become more resistant to their particular type of magic. So for the blue, the lightning, for the black, I think it's fucking poison. Acid. Fucking acid. I always get the green and the black because it's like it should be like I would think it'd be acid. So, in addition, and I'm going to confirm this right now as I look it up on my tablet.
Lark is very interested in the blue one.
In addition, I believe, and I'm not saying it out loud until I confirm, you also can breathe the breath of the dragon. So again, lightning and acid. You can also speak and understand Draconic, if you cannot already. And it aids with your vision at night.
It sounded like, are there any risks involved?
From what we can see, when you put the mask on, Tiamat may be aware of you.
It's a big downside.
Eyes are
She is, of course, as far as we are aware. I believe we would know if she was not. She is within her prison, but she becomes aware of you.
Would she know things about us, or just that we are around?
That I do not know.
Can we have a night to think about it before we make a decision on those masks?
Or we're bringing them.
We'll bring them.
We're bringing them regardless.
We don't
We don't have to.
wear them. We could bring them.
If we bring them, we should wear them. If we don't wear them, we shouldn't bring them.
Why?
So we don't put them at risk for the cult taking them.
Oh.
If we bring them with us, we should wear them. At least we can get use of the power then. It makes no sense to just put it in a pack and bring it.
course.
Yeah, needless risk for no reason. We have the night to talk about it amongst ourselves. Weigh the pros and the cons.
You see, I mean, there's a couple of nods.
No.
Yeah, Ambassador Braun Anvil has just been sitting there, like, kind of shaking his head at the whole thing. But King Melandrock also looks and looks at you all and says, I would strongly urge that you take them, that you wear them, that someone does. The masks are quite important for the completion of the ritual. If you are there and have the masks, I can only imagine what that would do to disrupt or stop the ritual from happening. This is all conjecture. But if they are that important, I find it hard to believe that their mere absence is not enough.
Aric's hand's gonna reach out. Are we close to them? To the table?
Yeah, they're right there in front of
Reach
you.
out and like hover above the masks. You know, the blue. And he's gonna look at the black. And he's gonna remember Resmir and how she used his fear. So he'll pick up the black mask. He's gonna pick it up. He's gonna take it.
Also, you get 1 legendary resistance per day, and also with black, you can breathe underwater. I don't know if that will come up, but you never know. It could. With the blue, you can, if you deal lightning damage to a creature, it can't take reactions until its next turn.
Aric's actually gonna like stop.
It requires attunement.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Aric's actually gonna stay Val's hand and look at Zen. I only do that because he's been. Val just kind of hopped into the group and Zen's been there since day one.
Zen will reluctantly take the mask.
It's the only reason I did that.
He's
Sorry.
Ah!
Only reason I did that. I feel like a dick for doing it, but if it was her, I wouldn't have. I'm sorry, but
You're not going to put her on.
I know you don't like dragons.
So we thank you for your time, for your aid. Will you leave in the morning or another day?
Well, let's just get this over with quickly.
I think in the morning, time is of the essence.
Rest up. This is Lord Neverember. Rest up. You will leave in the morning. You will join all of the soldiers that have come together, all of the arcane casters, all of the clerics, all of the wizards.
Is there a departing feast? I could go for that lovely castle duck that you cooked a few weeks ago.
We can arrange that.
Excellent.
Is there a plan about the sacrifices, the captives, to get them out?
Let's see, who would speak up about this one?
What about
So-
Professor X? Has he talked yet?
No, I can't remember who the fuck that is.
It looks like an old composer, doesn't it?
I'm like, who is that? I don't even know. There's fucking 12 people. There's like 15 people in this room.
Like that name doesn't even sound.
He
remotely
was, yeah,
familiar
I
to
didn't.
me.
I don't think he. Yeah.
He's just the guy that sits there. I'm just happy to be here.
Rianne, the tiefling from the Zentarum, she says, from what we have been able to gather with our intelligence, with the help of the Harpers, all of the sacrifices, all of the horde, all of the dragons, the wizards, they are all in the heart of the well. And whatever they are summoning from the ground, the sacrifices that we have seen are being held within cages. By the time we arrive, I believe that will no longer be the case. In terms of How to save them? Unknown until we arrive. But I would imagine that
Loud bug. I wonder if that's being picked up on the mic.
Is that one of those funky beetles?
You need to get a rock salt
Like a
shotgun.
June bug or something.
I would imagine that the ritual, once it is begun,
I'm here to help.
the sacrifices will.
I'm the new Charlie. If the dwarves won't fight, the beetles will.
The sacrifices will be done, I would assume, at the time of the ritual itself. The ritual has not begun. You have time. But it will be soon.
It seems that freeing and ferrying the captives to safety should be a priority. If the captives cannot be sacrificed, then the ritual doesn't sound like it could take place.
Unfortunately, it also appears that they have more than enough. They have gathered plenty of people where, however many it would take, we had heard 500, but then as things have gone on, the number has gone up. They have thousands.
What is the sacrifice? Are they like just pushing them in the hole?
From what we have learned of from folks on the inside, they will be torn asunder individually by the chromatic dragons.
Oh, I'd rather be pushed in the hole.
Yes.
It's come to my attention that my woman may be among the captives. Is anybody here aware of that?
You see several, kind of people look, make an insight check.
19.
See the lady from Daylight.
No, it's clear that at least Onthar kind of looks over at Ramalia. Ramalia looks at Onthar, and then they look at the leader of the table, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, and she looks at you, and she says, "There are a lot of people who are captives. It is my understanding that your partner is among them, or at least last I had heard."
And why was I not told?
Would it have changed anything? Or would it have clouded your judgment?
I still would have done my duty.
Well, as we have all lost people and had people taken from us who may or may not be alive, again, our duty is to the people at large.
Still, I suggest that you make freeing those captives an absolute priority.
I will hope that you will be able to do just that.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah, who could I tell that knew?
You
Everybody.
look at Ramalia and Onthar, like you saw them exchange looks.
Arik is gonna make dead eye contact with both of them, remembering their faces, every single detail of their faces.
They are there isn't much to read on either of their faces.
And they're the only two? Was there a third?
They
I
both
thought
looked
you
at
said-
Larell. I mean, she is the
Oh, so she knows everything.
yeah, she knows what others might know. The rest of the folks in the room are not as familiar with you all, in a familiar way. They know who you are, but they didn't hang out with you or anything like that. Where Onthar and Ramalia are more. And King Melindrock, had more dealings with, or not in Micaiah, but no one else here really knows you.
So yeah, Arik is gonna take a moment and remember every detail of each of their faces. He's gonna say, I'm not of this land. I am this world. And that is why I fight. But if Leo dies, you best hope that Tiamat kills me as well.
Let us hope for the best, Larel Silverhand says. I fear that you will have the quickest, easiest access. We will be fighting outside of the well. Let us also hope that the giants can arrive in time. You hear a little scoff come from, like, Braun Anvil. She's like, giants.
Were they able to repair that flying castle of theirs?
We are unsure.
It's all different giants too.
Oh, that's right. I keep on thinking it's the one, like, group.
Not all will fly.
I believe...
I'm just thinking of the fucking flying castle. Like,
Yeah.
like, screaming
TIE
in
fighter.
and fucking... Yeah, just screaming at 1,000,000 miles an hour right into it. Like, Tiamat's
It
like...
plugs the well.
And she's like, I'm free! And then it just gets hit in the face with a flying...
Yeah, you remember, or at least you would remember that Blagothkus, you had found out that
Never
Blagothkus
say that name.
I had to
was-
write it. Goth, because like I had to write it.
Blagothkus.
yes,
I had to write it
the
I just settled
storm
that
giant that he was headed to the north when he was attacked and the castle fell from the sky. But he was headed north to rally all of the giants that he could, not just the storm, but, you know, whoever he could, even though they don't necessarily get along. They hate chromatic dragons equally, so. We thank you for your time. Please take all of the gifts. We will have the potions sent to you. And any of the gear that you think you may need. Ropes, adventuring gear.
Bolts.
Lots of rope. Bolts and rope.
Bolts
That's our
and
band.
ropes.
That's our band. Bolts and ropes and bolts. That's our band name.
Anything else that you want to do?
Eat that goose.
Duck.
Duck.
Medieval foie gras.
They do have
Steak
a
and birds.
a meal for you at the end of the night. Or the end of the day. You all meet back in this room actually, and they have it extended. And there's like awkward political like eating and drinking and all of that fun stuff.
Eric's gonna drink, but he won't like eat at all. He won't
Okay.
touch any food.
I'm eating with my hands. I'm just like, ha.
It is very good.
Damn right.
Desserts, all kinds of cakes. Lady Dala Silmerhelv is like, where's Abaddon? You know, because she was the one who Abaddon had given cake to.
She
And
brought a cake for
Yeah.
Abaddon. She's like,
Oh, it's got two little
little
horns
tiny,
on it.
like little
It's a
tiny.
cupcake with little horns.
Yeah, so you have your meal, and there's a lot of political discourse, and despite the awkwardness, Ambassador Braun Anvil does stay, as does Rion Nightblade, and Nye Ilmik. She does sit with everyone and eat. You find out that the Arcane Brotherhood will be joining and will be bringing several folks. Not sure if Macath the Crimson will be among them, but
You're talking about to the battle or
to the battle.
Okay.
Yeah. You find out that Cormier is bringing their Silvery Moon, as was mentioned. The elves, the Order of the Gauntlet, although again, Onthar is really pissed about the Red Wizards. As you gather throughout the night, he is like, if this wasn't his idea, he might not be joining because of them. But with the through your discussions, you find out that the dwarves, yes, the giants plus the metallic dragons plus the Red Wizards of Thay it's not going to happen. No, they are not going to fight alongside them.
Hey, I don't blame him. I'd make the same decision.
And then Rion Nightshade of the Zentarum, their biggest issue was that you did not give them the tower.
Oh, we done fought. Now fuck you. You fucking spies.
And so they will send...
We have our own spies.
They will send no one to fight up at the front. So you will be without the dwarves and without the Zentarum in the final battle.
Like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well, you have several more than 3.
Yeah, but
that you
the
got.
song is 2 out of 3.
we're also fighting a massive undead dragon queen brood. So
I mean, I would have liked to have had the dwarves, but you know, we got almost everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like my first through of Mass Effect 2 where I made all the wrong decisions and I lost almost everybody.
So, is there anything else that you want to find out prior to, like that you think you would have figured out from this dinner before you go?
Marcus is deep in his fucking cups. Just
King Melindrock does tell you that, does speak highly of Erdnot and of Micaiah. He lets you know that when they were sent away, when they were successful with their trip, with their task, he finds it odd that you actually did not reconvene with them, although perhaps it makes sense, as he had instructed his mages to teleport them using the thought of, think of someone that you love and you'd rather, and where you'd like to be right now. And so they did not arrive here with you, but he's not sure what that means. This is where Micaiah would have gone, or where Erdnot. You got a letter from Erdnot, so you know where he went, but no one knows where Micaiah went. And that he's ashamed that his son is the Green Worm Speaker, and unfortunately they were not able to get the mask or take down the dragon, and sadly that it cost your Vidania her life, despite it being brought back, and her sister, who he's unaware of what her fate is.
these things are not your fault, Lord King.
But please
There's
tell us
Lord-
more
Lord
about
never-
how awesome Erdnot is.
Arg is going to seek out the Conrad Brunanville.
Okay.
And he's Ambassador Brunanville. When you go home, if you do go home, I have one thing to ask you. Find Erdnot Brewbottle and ask him his opinion on what the dwarves should do. I'm not saying you have to listen.
We're different types of dwarves.
No. Erdnot is very wise even for a dwarf. And I think you would find his counsel very helpful. Just ask him. Please.
You see, he looks up at you, and his face kind of like twists into this like angry sneer as he looks at you, and he says, "You presume too much, boy." And then he stands. Well, I don't know if you went over and talked to him, but if he was sitting, he stands up.
I would fight when everyone
In the
starts
mingling.
breaking up or whatever.
Yeah, he walks out of the council chamber.
Oh, fair enough.
There's a couple of eyes that watch him go and look at you and are like,
It's worth a shot. He's gonna do the other thing with the whatever her name was.
Rion,
The
the Nightblade.
I was gonna, but hey,
The Zentarum?
I was going to, but
She's there. She's kind of like shooting the shit. Seems slightly unfazed by everything that's going on.
no. Yeah, you know what? He'll walk over.
Okay. She watches Conrad walk away and then watches
He walks over.
you.
He's like, dwarves, am I right?
Listen,
Anyways,
Erdnot is a very wise dwarf lady, so when you see him...
Ask him his opinion. Yeah, she just Are you gonna chat with her?
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll walk up and he'll, what was her name again?
Rion.
Rion, but is it like a title or whatever?
No, she's just Rion.
Rion, well, I thank you for taking part in all of this.
You can try to convince me to change my mind too? Didn't really go over well with the dwarves.
I wasn't trying to convince him to change his mind. I just asked him the same thing I'll ask you. And that's to speak to somebody who has hands-on experience with all this. For him, it was a friend of mine, somebody that joined us on our adventure here. And for you, it would be Isadov Taterbush.
I don't know who that is.
The traitor.
Do I believe her?
Roll an insight check.
Oh yeah, I believe her. Yeah, because that's command presence. You know what? That's a good point. Oh yeah, because you know what? We don't have to. I don't have to worry about burning. Whatchamacallit. So that's 9 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 is what 14. 15. So 15. She's a queen of like shadows. She's not gonna fail this.
There's a little like twitch in her eyebrow when she says that you don't believe that she doesn't
had
know.
to roll like in that one. If you find her, just ask her which her opinions on the matter. Please. I don't expect it to sway your opinion or your entire opinion for what you should do for your people. But she has, as I said, hands-on experience with what we've done, what we've gone through, what we've had and will have to do.
Issa's got a lot of hands-on experience with a lot of people.
That's what she said.
Arg is gonna like smile like a big like that she does. But still, I just ask.
She's not worth 75,000 gold pieces. I'll just leave it at that. We'll talk when you guys are done. I have full faith in all of you.
It was worth a shot.
It was.
Arg does return and walk away. I wasn't expecting to win anybody over.
I don't think there's anything we could do at this point to win
I highly doubt it.
those two.
And Arg isn't super political anyways. So.
Maybe if we like pop the ambassador of Thay, we can win the dwarves slightly back.
But we need
just red wedding her right here at the table.
She's just an ambassador. Alright. Well, the evening ends. You go back to your keep. Folks separate. You see all of the people kind of separating out, and you will begin your final leg of the journey tomorrow in game time. Alright, so that's where we will stop as we pick up.
Perfect timing too.
So to pull up Pat, did we level up?
No.
Oh!
Not yet. You will not level up yet, but we'll pick up just kind of skipping ahead to you being.
Should we print out our level up sheets?
You should.
For the halfway through next session?
Like prep it. But you will we'll pick up a little fast forwarded to you marching towards the Well of Dragons.
Could I go back to that shop that in the morning or whatever? Remember I said I was going to buy like potions and shit?
Oh yeah, just let me know what you want to buy.
Didn't they give us?
They would. Yes, I'll let you guys know
what. I'm
what.
going to buy a bunch anyways. So
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Superior, you know what I mean?
Yep,
Well,
I'll let you
what
guys
do we
know.
have left in the bag of holding? This is the time to probably divvy it out.
For potions, we only have.
No, I mean just overall there's got to be shit in there that we've forgotten about.
Shovels.
This is stuff you could sell.
I mean, yeah, we have a bunch of
Let's see.
stones. But we
So
don't
thank you all for
have-
joining us today. We are going to actually go raid somebody. I'm thinking Blue Box RPG is a good one.
Sounds good.
So thank you, Kat. Great to see you. We're gonna hop over to the Discord to do a quick whatever the fuck that is, Stars and Wishes, and we're gonna raid. And I don't have permission to fucking do that. I'm gonna hop over here, and we're gonna raid, and we will see you tomorrow for the Midnight World, where we will be continuing with No Worse Enemy, which is going to be part 2 of an ongoing series directed by the creator of the Midnight World, James. It is taking place in ancient Rome. He is so good. He's so good. But ancient Rome, nightmares, lore, all this other stuff. So definitely check it out. If you want to see the first part, go to our YouTube. But in the meantime, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. And then we've got 2 more sessions of Tyranny of Dragons. And then we finish up.
You
So-
hope.
I do hope.
No,
yes.
she's like, there will be.
I am
One
going to
way
do
or
my
another.
best.
It's Bahamut just comes from the sky and just fucking cuts all the heads off of.
I think we can get there. This was I needed to get you here. Next I'll get you there, and then we'll...
The end
should
of
be
that
good.
final session, 8 o'clock rolls around. She goes, and you're all dead.
All right, we are going to raid. We will see you in 24 hours or so for the Midnight World, and have a good Sunday night.
Good. Bye. Have fun storming the castle. Bye.